takes.
Yeah, I don't have the software that I had. I was going to use the same one that Loki has.
Yep.
My video card isn't new enough to be to work with that program because it's from the video card company.
You guys watching? It just started.
It's still paused right now, but you said there's a 30-second delay, so.
Yeah. The zombies have come, or the full red night has started.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are coming out of the water. We're all coming towards
Okay, I see it now.
Come on, pause.
Well, yeah, it did seem a lot more like they wanted to talk about other issues, and that they could have easily have done that if they honestly wanted to.
Especially when you only have an hour to discuss these issues. And they ruined 15 minutes was gone about this fucking bike path and JT riding a bike. Like, who cares? That's not the issue. And Fenn,
was the bike story anyways.
And Fenn, he should have known better. He should have known better. Okay, that's enough. We should get back to the issues. Not 15 minutes later.
I mean, I'm not going to fault JT for taking the opportunity to plug himself. I mean, you know, given the opportunity,
he did that quite well.
Not? Yeah.
Like, see, even because I think I've only been on there like one time, and I think the subject we were doing ours on was what we were doing about the Indians. Like, that was a very broad topic.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything serious about that at all. I mean, there was maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but yeah, the rest was kind of BS.
I think most of it devolved into who all thought Andrew Jackson was the best president.
Yeah, which he was. Or one of the best.
Really? Andrew Jackson?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, he was the only president to get us out of debt.
We'll
He
see.
tripled our land mass, or I don't know how big Louisiana Purchase and all that crap.
That was Thomas Jefferson.
I thought he was
Nope, that is why the capital of Missouri is Jefferson City, is because he purchased the area that included Missouri in the Louisiana Purchase.
God, I can't think right now.
I only know that it's part of my state history. That's
Right. Like with my state history, all I know is it was the first state of religious freedom.
See, that's what I like my state. There's actual state history requirements for classes.
Yeah. It used to be when I went to school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's not anymore. It still is here, though. But
I think now it's mostly dependent on private schooling versus public schooling.
Because in 4th grade, we had to learn Florida history.
I'm just waiting for a fucking zombie to come up behind me.
Oh, I'm just.
I mean, if these kids actually learned about their states, they would find there's usually a fascinating history behind it.
Yeah.
So,
I learned
listen to
about my
narrative.
state, all right, but that's because my state's has been some of the most has been involved with a lot of relevant stuff.
Oh, your state sucks.
What? The French and Indian War was all us, man.
And you guys still lost.
We didn't lose. We just colonies just eventually won us.
Britain came along and kicked your guys' ass. And they wonder why the Indians were being shot off. Because they were enemies to the British.
The war was
those zombies sound close as fuck.
British and French,
Oh, there's a bunch of new holes.
and both sides were using natives.
Filling them with concrete.
But the French was using them full-heartedly. Britain was using them for like scouts and stuff like that.
If they dig all the way through, then it'll make it easier for me to fill them with concrete.
I mean, there were a couple of tribes that were British, went with Britain and all that shit.
I mean, there was a lot of issues with the British military at the time because many of the British militaries, well, versus the colonists that they were using.
Yeah, the battle formations and shit like that is what got their asses handed to them.
And the British honestly could not tell the difference between the tribes.
Right.
And that's just because they've never actually interacted.
I died of dehydration, so.
So a lot of times they would shoot at their own teammates.
Right.
And you would think
You would think, but keep in
And,
mind.
and also, when your uniforms are bright red, that's usually a bad sign that oh look, I think that's an enemy over there. Let's shoot at it.
Yeah.
What about the French with their fucking tall ass fucking hats in World War One?
Yeah, big surprise why they lost that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You think lessons learned eventually? Shit.
Well, look what they do with the marginal line. They're thinking that Germany's just going to come across right where they were the first time.
So that was something that always astounded me, was that somehow guerrilla warfare or fighting has been completely lost in Europe during that time period. Yet
It's fighting with the honor code. That's also where your Geneva
Yeah.
Convention bullshit comes from.
Yeah.
I honestly don't believe you should have to follow Geneva. Honestly, I don't think any country should have to follow the beliefs or governance of another country or collective. Because let's face it, if your country is better off just not listening to them, why would you want to listen to them?
That's why terrorist nations don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Snow Mexican posted this picture, Belgian Minister of Health. Is that for real?
Yes, it is. It is 100% truth.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is true.
That's why I posted it.
Sad to say.
Okay, where did you put your fucking link to your Twitch channel?
I'm not on YouTube.
Oh, you went back to YouTube. Okay.
Well, if it's fun,
Where
come
did she
everywhere.
post it?
It
Oh,
should
you
be
took a
down
break
there.
for the full moon?
What?
It's
No,
right under the general chat room, I think, right?
Yeah, it's in the general.
Yeah,
no,
general.
My Twitch is in the general, but my YouTube is nowhere to be found. It should be under featured channels, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I meant like.
yeah, it's on the general page. There, Ezekiel.
No, I meant like what Jen just posted.
Which
Well,
one?
but yeah, just scroll up.
Okay.
It was posted a while ago.
She looks like a donut. Big giant fucking donut.
What time is it? 1:30?
Yeah, I'm at 21 arrows left. I killed most of the zombies.
Good job.
Not enough arrows though. I might be able to kill these few. But once they go back to being slow, stupid zombies, I'll have much more left.
Apparently I'm alive and standing on the rooftop. What the fuck?
Alright.
Oh, there goes our base.
Yep.
Okay, we don't need
What happened?
I don't have a weapon, so I'm just gonna run away from the house.
What, you lost the house? What? What's going on?
I fucking auto respawned,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't know because I went to the other computer because I'm using the same monitor for both.
Right.
So now I'm just running through the woods waiting to get killed. Holy shit, there's zombies everywhere.
Long games are late.
I don't have any weapons. I don't have a bow or any arrows. So. Stop biting me.
By the way, good discussion tonight, guys. This was a lot better than the other stream.
Yep. The fucking nurse got me.
Yeah, the chat. We've probably covered a lot.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I was like, talking about problems without solutions is just complaining.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
Projection. It's like, what am I projecting? I'm not the one doing it. I have solutions. I have solutions, but fucking beta bitches like that wouldn't like it.
Well, no, they would try to talk you down.
Apparently I'm part of the feminist agenda to stop them. Because, yeah.
Well, see, I've been hearing you talk about the manosphere and how they just keep on blaming it all on women. I'm wondering, who exactly are you referring to?
I said the online guys. That's
Yeah.
what the manosphere is. A MGTOW in real life is not a MGTOW on YouTube.
Right.
So when you're watching a guy on YouTube who's like, I'm MGTOW.
Right.
That guy's full of shit. He's not MGTOW, and he's just a beta bitch.
Well, there's the communists versus the individualists, MGTOW. Individualist
Well,
MGTOW
okay,
still
a
want to talk
community
about
a community of MGTOW is not MGTOW.
Well, it's more of an oxymoron.
Yeah,
But if you
exactly.
were to take
What
a
does
look
MGTOW
at-
mean? Going your own.
Yeah, men going their
You're
own.
not going.
But and it's basically men who are trying to separate themselves from the rest of the society. That's just more of an issue of them wanting to take a label that already exists, like turd flinging monkey, the thinking ape, MGTOW transversal, and trying to make a community out of that. And it's like, why? But there are people who are MGTOW who do videos who don't focus on that.
Yeah.
Dude, you
Zombie
died.
bait. Go be zombie bait.
Well, welcome everyone that's joining us in the stream. Please, if you want to, please chat. Thank you for joining us, and jump into the discussion if you guys have anything to say.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, well, we got 7 people in here.
Yeah, us.
And too, when it comes to the MRM, sometimes a lot of the things that they are being told is just blaming women is when they're trying to point out common statistics, like tendencies of
Well, see, here's
abuse.
the thing: is the men's rights activists or the men's rights movement, as you want to say it. There's like actual organizations. The actual organizations are actual organizations, but then you got guys running around the internet saying that they're MRAs and they're not even a part of any of those groups. It's like, so how much fucks do you really give? Yeah, but you're not an activist.
No, you're not.
But you're claiming you're an activist, but you're not even taking...
Today, just having a YouTube channel and putting out one video is not to be an activist.
Yeah, but that just makes you the male version of a feminist. Because a male feminist is not an actual male. Clarify that.
That's so sexist.
Yep.
The way it should be.
Did you click more?
Ooh, oh, they're still following me.
And
He's
two,
I'm
bringing
gonna
you
bring
more
them back
friends.
your way because I don't have any weapons.
I can
You got a bunch of them. You, you gotta wait a few more minutes before they become slow zombies, and then we can walk them back to our fortress and murder them slowly.
You're saying, Ezekiel?
and well, I think the other two groups, like the general anti-feminist, which includes which includes anti-feminists who are maybe humanists or just part of other groups.
Right.
Yep.
In general, those would also be included, which
Look, it's Jesus.
and also the PUAs, which I honestly don't know what you would really say about the PUAs, because I mean
They're
summing them up as-
they're lame. They're lame.
yeah, they're just pussy beggars. It's always what they
Yeah,
have.
exactly.
Do you want
Yeah, pretty much.
the safety of the water first?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Some of these are
Yep. Well, the sky's still red. So.
it's 4 of them.
Oh wow.
Only one is you.
He's in love with you. He's
They
like,
know, they don't want to fuck with me. I'm gonna beat him to death with my bare hands, like a man. I am gonna die really quick.
You still look like you're walking on the water, though. That's why I made the Jesus joke.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'll try to bring some more my way.
Well, you gotta be able to leave.
Oh, I got a crawler coming after me.
But it's giant motherfuckers.
So, like, so say when you're referring to some of the MRAs who are online, like which like, give me some examples if you can think of
You
any.
want names?
Ideally,
Okay.
yes, but
Considering I just said I won't follow,
Right.
I want nothing to do with them. Why would I know their name?
I don't know.
I'm not targeting going out and trying to get people to not follow them.
Right.
I'm just saying in general, look it up yourself. Like when it comes to men's rights activism, look it up yourself. Find an organization that's legit doing things. Make sure that, because you have things like Wounded fuck Wounded Warrior. I mean, they do help people, but nowhere near as much as they could. They spend
Right.
most of their money on themselves. And there are other organizations for veterans out there that you could help. But you have to do your research into those organizations. Because I'm not going to sit here and just give you a list. If you're not going to do your own research, you're stupid enough to give your money to the wrong group. And if you're going to do that, go to my Patreon and just give me the fucking money. I'll take it.
It's like the one charity I donate to is Canine for Warriors.
Yeah.
Because they give dogs. Well, they get the veteran and they give them a dog, but they go through like a 2-week training with the dogs and stuff like that, and it helps them with the PTSD and that sort of thing. And plus, they get a companion for the rest of their lives.
I guess
Well, that's what I said. Like, I wanted to take me and my dog through that, but that shit was like 6 months, and I was about to get out. I'm like, I'm not gonna stay here because they'll hold you and you'll stay in. I'm like, yeah, I want out of here as quickly as possible. Because when they told me they wouldn't send me back to Afghanistan, I was like, well, then fuck this place.
Yeah, I tried so hard to get go to canine school.
Yeah.
But
Well, I didn't want to be fucking what do you call it? Peacetime Marine.
right.
Not for me. Like the shit they do is fucking lame.
And fuck you, Ezekiel, for being first.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point.
I kind of was gonna joke that isn't first kind of like being bottom.
No.
No, second is bottom.
So apparently some zombies got in somewhere, but I
Oh,
can't
crap.
find them.
Does that mean I was second? Fuck. Yep, I was.
It makes you bottom.
Yep.
Well, that depends on if I say third, because that would make you the middle.
Oh, even better.
Some stuff is broken in here, but I can't find the fucking zombies.
Why'd you make a ramp down?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, in the stream I just noticed that Loki made a ramp going down. Why?
He has his reasons.
Okay. Wouldn't the ramp have to go a little further down?
Are you
Nice.
planning to die or something?
No, I'm actually trying to run the fuck out of here. But my health is
Oh.
so low.
And he only has so many arrows.
It's too bad you can't bring food with you when you go. Oh, that's probably
Yeah.
why he has to slant down. So he can get up.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, but it doesn't really go far down enough to be able to get up onto, like...
Oh god, they're
Yeah,
fast.
they didn't want to give me my own
Well,
dog.
it's a football team. What do you expect? They're doing their drills.
Sure are. We stayed in the lake.
To do what? It's daytime. This is when they're supposed to be slower.
Oh, yeah, they look really slow. Well, it's an orgy.
You must have reminded them of their old coach, you know, and they just wanted to get back in touch with you,
Mhm.
personally.
Oh, they touched them alright.
Nice.
Bad
indeed.
touch,
Did they
bad
touch
touch.
tips?
I think so.
All of them. That's a
It was a
weird
game.
fetish.
It was a football gangbang.
Well, Loki, you can officially say that you took a whole football team at the same
Yeah,
time.
first off, that wasn't even a full team. That was 2 players.
I think there was a third one trying to catch up.
Oh, there's always a third one trying to get in.
We can talk about rape.
We kind of
That
already
fucking
did.
Brock Turner thing. Oh, that shit cracked up. Like the reaction. No.
I
Welcome,
Well, see-
visitor.
kind of honestly want to know more about some of the cases, because I've heard people who have said that in some cases they actually somehow considered if the woman is somehow pregnant as a result, they somehow don't think that that could be rape. And I'm having a hard time understanding if that's actually...
Whoever told you that is an idiot. That's not.
Well, see, I'm taking that from Garrett's stream, or at least where he outright said that there are some court cases that he's followed up on.
Can't hear you. Somebody's making a lot of noise.
Sorry, that was me putting my headphones on.
But like I was saying, like I'm going off of like some of the things I heard said by Garrett when he was doing a stream with Bane66AU. Is he brought up, you know, rape cases in some of the courtroom, and some of the things that were taken as evidence as somehow being against there being rape involved. And one of the examples he came up with was in rape cases where they'll somehow consider the woman's pregnant, that they'll think that she couldn't possibly be raped.
Did he have actual cases that he presented for this weird ass thing?
That's why I was wanting to see if any of you guys heard anything about it. He never
Sounds like
followed up with
sounds like
anything.
BS to me.
The only thing was one senator, who was an idiot, was like, women have like the ability to release like spermicidal reaction when being raped as a natural defense. Was one senator who said that once and was fucking vilified for fucking years for it. That's the closest thing to what you're saying that I even know of. So I'm gonna say it's probably bullshit.
So where did the zombies go? Oh, there.
They dug through.
Oh, wow.
Kind of figured it might have been bullshit, but I too also want to at least consider it and look into it.
What's weird? Why do they say that? Are they feminists? 'Cause that's a weird thing.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Garrett
That's
is
why.
a feminist, a male one, but
Then pretty much he spews acid out of his mouth.
well, I'm at
Oh,
least
damn.
going to try to.
Oh, and I broke my
I
leg.
have to say,
No, you should definitely do your homework. Definitely should do your homework.
right?
Where did they dig in?
I support anyone that's going to do their own research.
Because I view due process as a very significant and very important aspect, including in all cases. And
But yet they won't talk
Yeah.
about male pregnancy.
and if there's still myths floating around that are causing for them going over the cases to not really be able to, well, if they're having issues conducting them because of, you know, bad police conduct, something like that, those are definitely things that I want to be able to look into to have fixed.
I wish you luck on your research. Let me know what you find out.
Yeah. I mean, they like to make like the rape statistic. We all know it's complete horseshit.
Yeah, it is. Complete bullshit. And of course, it's been proven time and time again it's bullshit, but they still stick to it.
Yeah, and I said it's like rape is a serious thing, and that's something to look into and to address and to take care of.
But to say
Lying
that
about
there-
it is not going to do that.
And to say there's a rape culture, it's just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I kind of already said this with Loki, but wouldn't you consider incidences where they would not consider what is viably rape as a culture or system?
A rape culture to me is when like you have every man the fucking everything that moves that's female.
That's
No, I would say every male, but I'm saying a culture in which if that behavior is accepted. But we have men who literally get together and are like, let's go with the guy because he's a rapist.
Right.
Yes,
That's the
there's
opposite
that.
of a rape culture. A rape culture would be the men be like, hell yeah, you good job, bro. And where there
Let's
wouldn't
buy
be
you a beer.
it wouldn't be a crime to rape somebody. That's a rape culture, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Or it is a crime, but they don't prosecute it because nobody cares. Right?
I'd still throw
However
it
you wanna
back at
look
them
that.
too
That
and be
would
like,
rape
well,
culture. Saying
I'd
that.
like-
Do you know anybody who is cool with rape?
It would have to be a pedophile.
But I'd still want to throw that back into their face and be like, well, how many times have you touched a
okay.
man without his
Oh,
permission?
okay. They're everywhere over here. Hi.
Are you gonna be around tomorrow, right, Loki?
Yep. I'm around every
Okay.
day.
Because I am gonna be doing a lot of work tomorrow because I gotta do a lot of shit to catch up on, so I might need your help.
Okay.
We'll see. A lot of times they misuse the term rape culture. I've brought this up before, because it's supposed to be a shorthand in trying to explain conditions, like say in prisons where you can say they have a rape culture.
Well, yes, there is a rape culture in prisons.
Right.
I really believe there is. Yes.
Because you can have rape cultures within a society at large, but not make that society a rape culture or living in one.
Right. And so I will agree with you with prisons. Yes, I believe that is a rape culture.
And I would go as far as to argue, like, criminal, like, courtroom cases where the legislation will genuinely not recognize a form of rape as rape would also be considered
Like what?
a rape culture. Like forced to penetrate is one that I've brought up a few times.
Okay, but that's not a rape culture thing. Oh, he's quicker than I thought. I didn't get the chance.
Because
Which one is
The
this?
the gray one.
Oh, they dug
the
in
runner.
over here. They dug in through right by the stairs. I can hear them coming in. Remember that area we blocked off with bricks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming in through there.
I mean, I'll admit it's missing one of the primary components, which is that it has to be a regularly occurring thing for it to be considered a rape culture, which...
Pretty much they're saying that consensual sex is a rape culture.
Yes.
Pretty much. So if two people are drunk and have sex, they're calling that a rape culture.
See, I would see their point if there was maybe another person who had forced, like alcoholic content, or maybe forced roofies into the drink or something like that. But if it is of their own volition that they've accepted a substance, that they know what it is, in sound judgment, drink it, consumed it, and then they expect to not have any sort of accountability afterwards? No, you're still going to be accountable with what happens to you when you take any sort of drug or narcotics.
But yeah, and the thing is though, right away it's not the woman's fault. It's always the man's fault. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Rolling Stone article. Without even researching the story, they come out, oh, she must be telling the truth. And
That's
look what
another
happened.
thing, yeah. That is one thing that completely boggles my mind, is with the, yeah, because there are people who legitimately consider that only the male can somehow rape.
Because
Exactly.
In every situation.
If consensual sex is a social construct, then all sex is rape.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
Well,
lucky
there
guy.
are women that believe this.
Who's
Yeah.
saying it's a social construct?
Everything's a social construct. That's the social justice creed. Everything is a social construct to them.
They have a creed?
Pretty
I can't-
much. It's
I
called
thought
a
they were-
narrative.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They have a narrative that they live by, and it's just nothing but fairy tales.
Trigger, look up.
Well, see, I understand
Hi.
that
Don't
where
fall down here.
social
I'm
justice
stuck.
comes from as
I
something
said I
positive.
see you. Don't come in here. You're stuck. I can't get out.
Do you want help being dug out?
No, don't. It just makes it easier on the zombies. I'm gonna die down here.
Okay.
I'm filling it with boxes, and then I'm gonna die.
Okay, hurry up.
I can't hurry up the dying part.
What the hell were you talking about, Ezekiel?
So, feminists saying that everything's a social construct.
Oh, because of the narrative, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in 2, I was about to bring up, like, what exactly the ideology of social justice is about treating, a level of crime on a basis of groups, like what groups have done to what groups. Now, there's the obvious issue that there are things that are done by all groups to each others at some points of time.
Which they don't acknowledge.
Yeah.
They only acknowledge the white man.
The whole point in the concept of social justice is to Yeah, just to basically hold accountability of those who are usually in power as a result of what's perceived to be
Because if the teacher said I can do it, then the teacher said I can do it. Right?
Right, exactly. So why am I going to think for myself?
right.
I found
And
another
that's-
hole.
Zombies.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
And the problem with social justice warriors is they're egomaniacs. It's all about them projecting onto everybody that my way is right because I'm for social justice, I'm for equality, I'm going to stop this stuff.
See, oddly enough, my half-sister actually jumped onto social justice, and my thought is, does she actually understand what social justice is?
No.
I don't
Hey,
think
hey,
she
we did it at the
does.
same time. Nice, Loki.
Yes,
Because
yes.
Because
He's like your
she's
super
jumping on this whole Pizzagate thing, and I'm thinking, that's not social justice at all. Social justice has always been this philosophical principle. of
It's not
holding
even
groups
philosophical.
accountable.
No, it is.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that.
Sure, okay.
Yes,
I
it
will
is.
give it less credit than
Builds
that.
off of philosophy.
I'd say it's
Stems
kind of
from-
giving him too much credit.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
I said kinda.
It's a
Not.
bunch of words they stuck together and then decided that it means something to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
As
I
long
know
as it
there's
fits,
some of
as
them
long
who
as it
jump-
fits their narrative, that's all they care about. They
I
want
know
to punish Whitey. They want to say that all men should be beta males.
Okay, that's a different thing altogether.
No, that's
It's
part of
not
social.
just
That is part of social justice.
to make
That's
them
part of the
beta.
narrative. It is. It's part of the narrative. It's all to
I
get.
thought it was in part of trying to hold men accountable for
When
the
you-
situation or circumstances of women.
No, they want to punish men.
Because-
They want to make females totally
Well,
innocent.
of course they
and it's
want
always
to
the man's
punish
fault.
men, because they
Ask
believe
Sigurd.
that men have.
Listen, Ezekiel, ask Sigurd what she thinks. But for the longest time, she kept saying, well, this is just them trying to get revenge for shit that they feel
Right.
was done to them. Although I kept pointing out that none of it was done to them. And therefore, they're just trying to get
Wasn't, no.
equality for people who no longer exist by handing something free to people who do.
It's socialism.
Yes, then that's exactly what I'm referring to. That's exactly what philosophy they work off of.
If you want
Is
to call it
holding
philosophy,
groups
go
of
ahead.
people.
Right, which is blaming
That
men
is a
because if you listen,
philosophy,
Yeah.
Ezekiel,
and that is
which is
yes.
blaming men because the history is the white oppressive man who oppressed
Right.
minorities and women.
That's the narrative that they speak.
That's the
Okay.
narrative.
Right.
I just
So
don't-
you just agreed that yes, they're trying to get rights or equality for people who no longer exist. Well, the people who weren't giving it to them were men and white men.
Supposedly.
Well,
according
no,
to
they're
There's-
just wanting to punish people. They're not
You-
even getting
You
right.
want to know what the narrative is surrounded by? The narrative is surrounded by victimhood. They want to be victims. That's the bottom
Exactly.
line. Is to be victims, and they're going to do
Not
everything they
necessarily, 'cause
can.
Some of them just want to find victims and convince people they're victims so they can fight for them.
Well,
Right, while
see,
playing the
whole
victims
point in
themselves.
Social justice
No,
is
not,
the
they don't
demand of
necessarily have to play the
justice.
victim themselves. You're
But
giving them
this
too
demand of
much.
justice is just
Nah,
to punish
sorry.
people.
too many
That's all
requirements
there
for
is to
them.
it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. You are right, Trigger. You are. Because that is giving them too much credit that they have more brain cells than that.
Oh, God.
But anyway, go ahead,
Um,
Ezekiel.
Giant holes.
Okay, just because they're not exactly the brightest doesn't mean that they don't work by philosophy. How many philosophies do you know that you can say make perfect sense?
It's not a philosophy, though. It's a narrative.
It
It's
is.
not something.
Ezekiel.
This
What's
has
the
been.
difference?
Ezekiel, do you remember
It's
how
propaganda.
we talked
It is
about-
propaganda. So what's
So
come
is the
down to.
concept that, so is the counter arguments towards
Um,
Determinism.
apparently there are zombies in that hole. I thought
And one thing you
There's
learn about
still
social
philosophies
justice,
that
and one
exist.
thing you'll learn about social justice is they don't use facts. They find facts that suit them, that's been rearranged, that will fit the narrative,
facts
And-
are
there
racist.
is that too.
and they
What I'm
refuse to see the
arguing is
truth.
You can still have someone who's a social justice who's batshit crazy and insane, but one that still, holds to their philosophy or their credence. You can still have that. That's
Oh, yeah,
still
it's a free
possible,
country.
yeah.
It's a free country. You could be a jackass if you want to. I don't care, but
No, I'm saying
reason
you
I'm-
could still have the philosophy applied to if
Okay,
even if their facts weren't skewed.
Then this is the question: where did the philosophy come from? What's its origin?
White man.
Uh,
yeah.
Well, no, he's
No, let-
saying it's the philosophy.
no, let Ezekiel
where did it
answer
come
this.
from?
God,
If
hate
I
this.
remember right, I believe PZ Myers is actually one of the people who more recently to push it, but I think the concept actually came from the 70s, if I remember right. Because someone a little while ago was actually having to do
There he is.
reading on microaggressions. Trying to remember the
There's a zombie.
Yeah, that was me. I'm the one that's studying the microaggression issue. But the point...
And plus there's John Wall's take on social justice as well, which Christy Winters mentioned because that's
Christy
where
Winters.
the philosophy came from.
I swear to God, I want to see her doctorate. I do not believe her.
Yeah,
really
I don't
don't.
believe her whatsoever.
That's because she passed because she learned to go by that philosophy. This is
Philosophy is not a real degree. It's not a real subject.
isn't.
Stop it. Stop it, Ezekiel. I've had this conversation
We
with you
have
before.
it.
Oh, damn.
It's not real. No
Dude.
philosophy is even useful.
Can
Dude,
I
you
suggest a
know what
couple...
philosophy is.
Yes.
Can I suggest a couple books to you?
School of thought is a form of philosophy.
A what?
Every school of thought is a philosophy.
No,
'Cause
it's not. It's
a look
just a
at a way
fucking
of-
thought. It's just a thought. It doesn't need a name for everything. You don't need to call every fucking random thought you have a philosophical theory. It is just the way people think. It's more, okay, psychology is like properly the way people think and have real mentalities. Philosophy is just some random fucking bullshit someone slapped on something. I understand that the history of fucking philosophy is like the root of science and psychology and everything else, but now we have psychology and science to take its place. Now philosophy is nothing. It is just literally people trying to get degrees while trying to, like, they literally say, here's what this one person said, here's what this other person thought, here's what this other person thought. Now what do you think about what these people thought? It's nothing. It's nothing. It's gibberish. It's useless. The fact that they need to sit around and discuss what is social justice based on which theory of social justice that fucking by like a million different people, it doesn't matter. They're just fucking around with the language. None of it fucking matters. I keep telling you, there's no such thing as philosophy. There's no such thing as a feminist. People will be feminists when they need to be feminists when the time calls for it. People will be misogynist when the time calls for it. I've seen people that claim to be fucking feminists and they say the most misogynistic stupid shit in the next fucking sentence. These are the social constructs. These are the social fucking names that give shitty fucking ideologies that have no meaning and are only based by basis. That's it. It's all fucking situational. It's all whatever the fuck you want it to be. Christine Winters can say whatever the fuck she wants about whatever the fuck she wants, but at the end of the day, she is who she is. And that's just fucking
You can't really say it doesn't exist because it's...
No, dude, you're falling into the trap again. I'm not saying nothing doesn't exist. I'm saying it's a fucking useless concept. All of this shit is incredibly useless. It is useless for us to know.
Well, no, it's only useless as a college education.
No,
because
it is useless.
You're using a philosophy regardless.
Because they fucking built college courses around social justice. Then they built it around different fucking white men that said the idea of social justice is this, and here's what I think about the idea. And now they're getting entire fucking degrees of what
Okay, say
fucking
they
person
don't
had a
call it a
thought
philosophy.
about.
Say they just call it truth.
It's not
Call
true.
it
There is no
Because
truth.
that's
There.
if it's not philosophy.
Truth. It
They
is
consider
not
it truth.
truth.
That's what you
truth
need
that
the
some person
distinction
said,
for.
No, listen. It is the truth that someone at some point thought it, said it, and wrote it down. And that's as far as it goes. Because I can come up with my own philosophies any fucking time I want. But I keep telling you, right now...
Like hemlock theory?
Yes, like hemlock theory. Like any of the shit. None of it is applicable to anything in life. If you keep calling people feminists, socialists, leftists, Marxists, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow they'll be in a different society or in a different place in life and they will become different things. These are just names for stupid fucking irrelevant things to label
But do
people
you
to make
think
it easier
it's
to
relevant
let me
to
finish
be
my
able to
fucking point. To make it easier to generalize people and therefore turn people against each other. None of it has any legitimate value whatsoever. And that I learned from school about philosophy while taking philosophy fucking bullshit classes.
Okay.
And can you actually consider that you can still recognize there's a difference between an ideology, which is exactly what philosophies are, ideologies.
No.
Yes, they are.
If you want to call it that.
If you want
Then
to fight me on this,
yes,
but
I'll
trust
fight you
me,
on it.
they are there's a difference between groups that form around them, and yes, the ideals that the groups follow tend to differ on that basis. When people use a term that they want to identify themselves,
But
it's
those
not completely
aren't
because
real
they believe
identifying marks. They're not real identifying marks. A
what
feminist
they
is
usually
only a
mean by
feminist when
that
they
is
need
that
to
they're
be a feminist.
following. Okay, let me finish my thought. Like I was saying, they're usually only saying that they're following someone else's views who identifies themselves as that. That they concur with what the group they're familiar with, who are associated with it, say and do with it. That's what groups do. That's what labeling yourself usually means, is you've made yourself part of that group.
But that means nothing. That means nothing. When you say you are for social justice, then people get into a million different fucking philosophies of what social justice philosophy they themselves are talking about. These are useless, random fucking terms. Because tomorrow, okay, I keep saying this. There's a reason there's 35,000 different denominations of fucking Christianity, and because they differ on one ideological stance. That means there's 150 fucking million different
There's
types of
still a
feminists
single
out there. Shut
ideological
up and let me
stance they work
fucking
off
finish.
of.
There's a reason there's feminists, and there's feminists fucking everywhere about everything. That's why they're falling apart. That's why they're calling themselves intersectional feminists. That's why they're calling themselves the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, 17th fucking wave, the video game fucking people, the non-video game people, the fucking equal rights people. It doesn't matter. These are all fucking random fucking words they're used to try to associate themselves with a movement they have no understanding of. None of it.
So trying to understand them's worthless to you.
To understand
Trying to
what?
actually
Trying to understand
the
what
differences.
Okay,
And trying to
okay,
understand
okay,
the
Ezekiel. Here's where
is
what I need you to
useless to
understand.
you.
Here's what I need you to understand. If you want to walk up to a feminist and say, "So you're a feminist," and she says, "Yes," your next fucking 7 sentences have to be, "And what kind of feminist are you?" And then the subcategory of whatever the fuck she says, and the subcategory of whatever the fuck she says next. And the
No, I'm gonna try to figure out where she
no,
comes from on
no,
the issue.
you're not. It doesn't matter where she comes from. It does. There's no reason to even label her a fucking feminist at that point, because it doesn't fucking matter. She's not a feminist. She's just a person with fucking views. None of it makes her a fucking feminist. Feminism is the fucking label in banner that people fucking fall under to get the fucking point across, to fucking rally under a banner so they can feel fucking loved and accepted and cared for. None of those labels matter. I can be a man, but I don't share 100% of my shit with men. I disagree on men greatly. I can fucking pretend to be a fucking woman tomorrow, according to them, or maybe according to me. I can pretend to be a woman, and I will fucking be more with women than I will with men. It doesn't fucking, holy shit. It doesn't fucking matter. None of these labels actually matter. That's what they teach you. That is the philosophical argument. That's why I say it's backwards, and they have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
How did you die?
4 zombies swarmed. From all
At the
over
house?
out of nowhere. Just
Yeah, they're-
outside.
I'm currently watching it going on now.
I have nothing else to say on that. I think Loki covered that pretty well.
Yeah, philosophy as an area of study is the most stupid, ridiculous thing ever.
It is, and I've agreed to that. But trying
No, what
to
I'm saying, but
understand what
because,
people
like Loki said, they're just thoughts that people have that they wrote down, and other people are like, oh, that's the extent of it. Putting anything more into it is pointless.
You mean, trying to actually understand the human behavior.
No, that isn't.
exactly
That is
my point.
physiology. That is physiology. That's not philosophy. You're talking about
not.
psychology, right? That's what I'm saying. So
And if you were to try to understand a group, do you think what philosophies they tend to cater towards or live under is insignificant?
Yes.
extremely,
What about
because
religion?
as Loki
Religion
just
is a
as Loki just pointed out, there are 35,000 different denominations of Christianity. So Christianity is the philosophy, but clearly that doesn't cover everybody. And the problem is you're trying to put people into groups when people are individuals. And using philosophy as the way to identify their group is still putting them into bubbles and boxes as groups, which is the problem. So you're not going to understand people or the nuance of people by trying to label them with philosophies or ideologies.
And that's how the government wins.
I'm looking at how they function as a group.
But with nobody buys into any one philosophy completely, right? So two feminists are going to have different views and interpretations of a philosophy. So labeling them under the philosophy will not give you any better understanding.
It
so
doesn't make trying to understand where they...
No, but it's not feminism that you're trying to understand. It's not their feminism. It is them as a person.
You're trying to understand the people.
Socialization that you're trying to understand, not the actual feminism.
Right, like feminism says they're for the equality of women, but then you'll have feminists who are asking for like the sexual revolution, and feminists who are advocating for female supremacy, and they're both feminists. But clearly they're not the same, right? Yes, no?
Now hold on. Some of them come from different positions on this.
Oi.
Right, so their philosophy is different then, is it not? But they're both feminists.
They are,
and you said feminism is a philosophy. Therefore, same philosophy, so it's not both feminism. So do you have to create a new philosophy to encompass that individual who thinks something different than the other one?
Yes, it's subcategories. That's where there's Christian and there's like fucking 17,000 different other Christians. It's the same thing with feminists. They're trying to rally all the feminists under one banner, but once other feminists realize what that banner actually states for example, female supremacy, as we've witnessed recently, they start to move away. That's why Sigyn was like, oh, I don't have a problem with feminism. Feminism isn't that fucking bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, check out what they're doing. And then she's like, okay, well, fuck them. Let's speak out against them. Let's figure the situation out.
Right.
Because she is also for women, equality for women, but she's only for the equality of women by law, under the law, not as a fucking supremacy group.
Right.
So she,
what I'm saying
so she may be a feminist at the end of the fucking day, but she's not the same feminist as everybody else. And if you want to look at the difference,
according to a philosophy,
yes.
Right?
And if you want to look at it through the lens of whatever, first wave, second wave, third wave feminists, they themselves differed greatly based on the individual themselves, not the fucking philosophy. Like they can say, I believe women are equal, or should be made equal, or whatever the fuck, or should get paid equal. But then we always have to hashtag it with not all. Right? This is the biggest problem, is we have the not all, because not all
groups
RAs
do function.
No, they don't. Groups are comprised of individuals, and they either participate...
Individuals who act as a whole.
Okay, here, I'll give you an example, Ezekiel. I got an example. Communism is a philosophy, right?
Yes.
One Russian communist dictator to the next, the guy who takes over, are not the same. Lenin and Stalin are not the same. Gorbachev is not the same as either of them. Pol Pot, Mao, all of these communists have completely different ways of doing things. Different beliefs, different ideologies, different ways of running countries. So they're communists in a very vague sense. So using the philosophy to understand Mao, using communism, is pointless. Because you might be comparing it off of Soviet Union communism and say, oh, well, communists.
There are similarities, though, such as the belief in redistribution of wealth, ownership of citizens, and...
But you're comparing that to what?
Okay, I have to tackle this issue right now. You're saying the belief. It is not a belief. Lenin did not believe in the redistribution of wealth. He believed in the murder of millions.
Yep.
And then keeping the wealth for himself to make himself richer. Just because he said he's a communist, that does not make him a communist. And that is my entire point.
And how about the ones who put him in charge?
How about the people who put him in charge? Do you think they had fucking
He killed his own people. Do you realize that? Stalin killed his own people.
But he
especially the ones in
managed to
charge.
get into place because there were people who followed him, who backed him. Because there were a large enough people who agreed with his sentiments, or at least what he said beforehand.
What he said. They may have even agreed with the ideology he was proposing. But he was not that, and therefore the label that he gave himself as a communist was useless. The philosophy that he fucking promoted was not his own. Just because he labeled himself something doesn't mean he is that thing. I keep having this conversation with you. Labels are useless. They're little fucking tools for people to trick each other into a fucking false sense of security. That's why.
And also the government uses it because they want everybody in their own little labels, because we could have wars between these labels. The government could step in and have one banner where, okay, you guys can't live with each other.
No, look,
you can try to claim.
Why have I been labeled
alt-right by some people? You can make yourself part of a group, regardless of whether or not you're willing to label it. All you're doing then
Yes, but you're not
People form
understanding
groups.
anything by...
That's just a
But
common
yes,
thing
here's
in
here's the thing, Ezekiel, because you're saying they're going to label you with things, so let's study what you are because of that label. As we've just clarified, that label doesn't necessarily apply to very many people,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's say 15,000 people say they're feminists, but that label might actually only apply to 250 of them, but you want to study all 15,000 of them as feminists, as that is their philosophy. But it's going to differ greatly from one to the other.
Okay.
Like there are 1 billion fucking Muslims, right? Are we going to study Muslims as Muslims? Because there's big groups that get smaller and smaller and smaller, all the way down to the individual level. And the entire thing of philosophy is let's sit around and ponder shit. That's the entire concept, which
And sometimes just pointing out
really
the
pointless.
obvious, but
A lot of pointing out the obvious, like a lot. That's why I like
guess
psychology and sociology better, because those at least give you reasons for those things and give you explanation for it instead of just saying these people think this way. Because these people do not just think this way. There are reasons people think the way they do. And I don't just accept that because someone labeled someone alt-right means that they're alt-right. It means that they're racist fucking Trump promoting idiots. Or whatever the fuck you want.
Right, yeah, like alt-right. That's a philosophy, but do you know what that philosophy is? Do you know who it applies to? What it
would
really
probably
means?
help to be able to look more into it.
No, it wouldn't, because we just saw
Yes,
seven
it
different
would.
people.
Right,
Because if
right.
I were
All-
to
yeah.
disagree with
Ezekiel,
them, and they
we
happen to
just had
share
several
that philosophy,
Several people say they were part of the alt-right movement way before everyone else, and it had nothing to do with what the alt-right movement claims they are now.
Yeah,
See,
Gunny.
it's useless.
Gunny's an example.
He said so himself. He was part of the alt-right for 12
Right,
years,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, the alt-right means a fucking ethno-national state. And he's like, where the fuck did this shit come from? It doesn't matter. The label is useless. The label itself. The philosophy the label itself encompasses is not a real one.
And only the oppressor wants the labels for everyone.
so you think it's absolutely and totally useless to try to understand
You're not trying to
Where-
understand it.
Yes,
Yes, I
again,
am.
yes, completely, totally useless. There are instances where it would be beneficial, like politics, if you were trying to understand demographics, but that's also not
Look,
philosophy.
even,
But
hold on.
Hillary Clinton saying this is a red state and there's so many people who are against me, there's no point even campaigning there, right? That's about as applicable as it's going to get. And even then, that's not what you're saying. Because she's not trying to understand people, she's trying to manipulate them.
Well, even Hillary Clinton saying she's a Democrat means nothing if she's a fucking Marxist at heart.
Right.
Her label is fucking useless. Her actions are fucking warmongering. Socialist actions. Even
Oh, sorry, that was me.
joke about this.
So-
the term.
yeah, have no one try to determine who they are, but label them anyways. That totally doesn't sound
I'm saying
hypocritical
don't.
at
We
all.
say
I'm
don't
saying
label people. So you're saying the opposite of what we're saying is what we're saying.
I'm saying the
That's
Labels
literally,
are
that
bad.
is,
No
that is kind
labels.
of what you're saying.
Everybody's an individual and you can't label them.
And actually, Jordan Peterson had basically said the same thing that these guys are saying. A part of your identity is what other people identify.
Alright, because
you
you're
as.
saying try to understand the label.
Yeah.
We're saying the labels themselves are the...
the problem. They are the problem. They are the way
Yeah.
to turn us against each other. Just because
Exactly.
I'm a Democrat, just because I'm a Democrat now and he's a fucking conservative, that does not mean that we actually disagree on a lot of things. It's just those labels are fucking useless now. So I keep saying I didn't really change my stance on anything. It's either what these stances mean. I used to call myself a liberal, and then all of a sudden being a liberal meant you're a fucking crazy ass psycho walking around the streets demanding that fucking white people give up all their power because women are fucking mistreated in like 2 or 3 conditions that they could actually maybe list. That's not what it was about. Originally, I fucking was drawn to the liberal aspect of being a liberal because of liberty. Remember liberty?
Yeah, I remember those
The
days.
term literally is
Bullshit.
liberal.
Because you can't actually manage or maintain a perfect liberty for all peoples.
But the label changed. The label.
Yeah,
changed, not me.
because it was
What kind of-
hijacked by Wilson. Because he wanted this progressive tag to go under liberals, so it would be more efficiently for the progressives to move forward. So they used liberalism as their label to fake the people out. They fell for it.
You can be a communist, but you don't actually believe about any equality. Like they keep saying, Equality. But the
There's-
only
There's
thing
different variations of equality.
yes, there
It's
is,
not just
and
one
it-
big
and
grouping,
it
and
dif-
that's
and it
also
differs
another
based
part
on
of the
person you talk
issues.
to, and it differs
Because you're not
based
just
on
talking
the
about-
person you talk to, and it differs based on the person you talk to, not the ideology. They can all be fucking feminists, but differing based on the individual that you talk to, they can have completely different perspectives of what equality is, of what liberty is, of what anything is, and what the solutions are. The labels are useless. They are just people. They're just people who want to identify as a thing. That's why
People who act and function as groups.
they don't act and function as groups. You're confusing
Yes,
this
they
shit.
do.
No,
All
they don't.
people do.
All people can act as a group, as
Even people
As
who
a city,
refuse
as
to
a
label
society.
themselves.
Yeah, you're talking about society.
as a society, not as fucking feminists. Feminists don't act as feminists. Feminists act like fucking sheep for the most
What
part.
do you think subcultures are?
Tell me what they are.
They're not a philosophy.
I've told you.
Being
what
like,
they are.
oh, I
but
like
sometimes you
vampires.
can have a
Vampires.
subculture centered
I'm
around
gonna dress up and
philosophy.
call myself a vampire. I'm gonna go drink fake blood on the weekends. What philosophy is that?
What I'm pointing out is you can still have subcultures centered around philosophy. You can have cultures centered around different ideologies.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what?
Like,
Give
Would you not
examples.
say that Christians hold themselves to a different set of customs and beliefs than maybe, say, atheists in the United States? Or maybe, say, Jews in the United States?
Okay.
They're
How
still
so?
part of the United States, but they're definitely going to live differently. Traditions are going to be different based on personal sentiments, usually related to personal beliefs.
So there's a lot of individuality and personalism.
There's
as-
yes, there is room for individuality, but when you're dealing with groups, they're going to behave in a very consistent pattern.
I need to ask a very important question. How many groups do you know that are even in uniform? Because I'm pretty sure the
that
answer
are
is
in
none.
uniform.
Yes. In their beliefs, in their ideologies, in the structures. Have you ever been part of a subculture that unilaterally agrees on everything? No. No
Trying
one's
to
ever
think
seen
of
it. Because to say that you're a brony just means you want to fuck the horses.
You had to say fucking bronies, didn't you?
Yes, you had to.
That
Fucking
is
asshole.
that is it. It doesn't mean that they're feminists. It doesn't mean that they're fucking communists. It doesn't mean anything except for one thing. And any of these philosophies that you bring up, people most of the time have no idea what the fuck they are. None. They
I have
zero
something
understanding.
for you, Ezekiel. A good way to prove what we're talking about. The lady who made that Red Pill movie.
Mm-hmm. KCJ
Her whole point was what?
was to take a look into the men's rights movement.
And did she find what that label in philosophy was?
The advocacy.
Have you
for men's
watched?
rights on-
No.
No, I
Have you
haven't
watched
watched it yet. No.
any
I
of
haven't.
her interviews? If you let me finish the question, you'd know what I'm asking. Have you watched
Yes,
any of her interviews about the?
Yes, I've seen a good portion of her interview with the Honey Badgers. I've seen some of the interview with Sargon.
Right, and so what that philosophy and everything said, what she found were a bunch of individuals who were differing with different stories and different things going on and different reasonings. And so her whole overview, broad, what the philosophy of a men's rights activist was completely wrong.
And her shattered,
it is
and
in
her,
general.
and her view of what feminism was also shattered along the way.
Right. Because each individual creates their own view of what he is, and it differs from each person to person. And the more you look into a philosophy, a group that you have labeled as an ideology or philosophy, you'll find that it's all a bunch of different individuals who are different, and your preconceived notions about philosophies or ideologies of a group of people don't apply. And that's our whole point. And you're saying, no, there's validity to
In
it.
fact, isn't your story partially the same? Of you joined certain groups thinking that they meant one thing and it ended up being completely different?
Well, everybody's is.
Yeah, of course. That's the
what-
human condition. Trying to find a place to belong and never being able to find it because never being able to find people who think just like you do.
Exactly.
Find things you share in common, but not the exact same way you do.
Yeah, there's nobody like me in the world. I'm a fucking special snowflake. And so are you, and so is Loki, and so is everybody else. Now you can
Special
apply...
snowflakes don't exist.
Everybody is a special snowflake,
Only
so...
thing that
If
maintains
everybody's a
actual
special snowflake, then
individualism.
nobody is a special snowflake. We're all
Right.
human,
Only
we
thing-
all suffer under the human condition.
The only thing that could allow enough mental diversity to allow for individuality is strictly biology
No.
and biological
No.
processes.
What
No.
biological
How not?
process?
Environmental factors. People
Sociology,
who
psychology, look into those things. Those things can tell you much more about people than the fucking random labels that like philosophy has to offer.
And I can't wait for Siggy when she gets done and she's full on working with patients directly, like as the psychologist, because then she's going to realize that all of these school and these philosophies and labels are not going to apply to anybody. She's going to have a bunch of individuals that need That's why, especially in psychology, when a doctor passes on a patient, they have this whole briefing that they have to give the new doctor about that patient, because no two people are the same. So even though psychology is a very good in-depth analysis and looking at people's behavior and, you know, the psychology of decision-making and things like that, even then, when they teach it to you in school, they teach it as broad groups, like broad strokes. And then your actual real-world experience in there completely shatters that preconceived notion of groups of people.
Excuse me. Ouch.
What's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander.
Yeah, I feel outclassed by this convo, so I'm just gonna keep shut.
Let's say, like, I am a neocon, and I claim to be a neocon. Can you name a couple other neocons?
no.
No?
Wow.
Okay, I'll give you two. Dick Cheney and George Bush. George W. Bush. They're both neocons. Now, George H.W. Bush is not a neocon. He's just an old school conservative. I have virtually, now I'm pro-war in Iraq and Afghanistan, so I can find things that I agree with them on. The methodology that they used, the way that they did everything, I completely agree with. I think they did it all wrong. I think Dick Cheney is a selfish asshole. But we would technically be under the same law because the broad stroke of what a neocon is applies. But if you're going to go and study me as a neocon, you're not going to find similarities between me and them.
Well, I'm still gonna find similarities, but usually where you would.
No, I'm
ultimately
saying by the
agree
end of it, you'll say, "Oh, you're." This is what a
You
neocon.
keep cutting
Because
off. I hate it.
you're gonna study me, compare me to your philosophy of what a neocon is, or what you've identified as being a neocon, and then come to the conclusion that I am not a neocon. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now,
And that's my point, is that label doesn't really actually mean anything. It gives you a very broad idea of where in the world I might actually fall in my thinking.
I'm going to expand on this.
And
idea.
isn't that
Hold on.
enough?
I'm going to
Not
expand
at
on
all.
this idea so we can all understand it a little bit better. It's the whole pronoun game.
Yep.
Each and every one, there's a reason each and every one of these individuals said that there's an infinite amount of fucking gender pronouns, because they feel slightly different. This is why I keep joking. It's just your name. You just want to be called by your name, because they differ on the smallest fucking opinion. It started out with fucking dragonkin and went to another fucking kind of kin, and there's a million different fucking people that identify as a different fucking gender and a different sexuality. Why? Because they're playing the fucking name game. That's all they're doing. They're playing these little fucking things, and two people get together and like, oh yeah, we're fucking what the fuck are they called? Ryan Reynolds or fucking Deadpool is supposed to be that the people that want to fuck anything.
Are you talking about pansexuals?
Nymphomaniacs?
No. They literally have pansexual. Sorry, they're like, we're
Yes.
pansexuals.
Yeah.
And a bunch of pansexuals will get together, and a bunch of them start to disagree about what it means to be pansexual. So someone's like, well, I'm pansexual fucking dragonkin or whatever, and someone else says, I'm a pansexual fucking lampkin. And then all of a sudden you have a bunch of pansexuals, but none of them are pansexuals, because all of them have a fucking different subcategory of pansexuality, because they have a slightest fucking disagreement on shit. This is the same thing as the pronoun game. This is the same philosophy. This is the same garbage. You have to reject it outright and call people by their fucking name. You have to fucking reject all the preconceived notions that you have of philosophies because they're bullshit. Do you know how many fucking people I knew that claimed to be punk rock? Literally fucking sat in the streets playing their fucking acoustic guitar drunk off their ass every day and were like, fuck the establishment. And then fucking it's 2 months into me knowing them, they're like, oh yeah, I finally got into the Navy. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're supposed to be anti-establishment, but you joined the fucking military? You joined to fight for your country. He's like, whatever. I'm like, you're not punk rock then. I know.
Let's say, like, in my personal beliefs, I'm very anti-establishment. I just think the establishment should change.
It's my joke. I know way too many metalheads are like, fuck yeah, that one Metallica album is so fucking metal. It is so hardcore, man. I wish I could play like that. I'm like, yeah, the album you're talking about, most of the songs on it were an acoustic guitar. He's like, what?
Right.
Like, listen back to it, and he's using an acoustic fucking guitar. Like, fuck, man. And I got into metal for, like, because of Metallica. People don't know. None of us know. None of it matters. It's all just a fucking name. And the name you should be using is your own fucking name. You are Ezekiel. You're not a fucking whatever the fucking label is.
Feminist.
You're not a feminist. You're not a furry thing you identify as. You're not. You're just Ezekiel. You're always going to be Ezekiel to me. If you decide to actually play in the fucking gender pronoun game, I'm still not letting you whatever the fuck you guys call that. The Nico something? You're not that. You're just Ezekiel. Because within that Nico, you might have a preference towards black cats as opposed to white cats, and then we're back to the fucking not all Nikos thing.
Yep.
Right? You see my point?
You're
Can I go
just
play
fighting
now?
against descriptors. Yeah, just go play.
They're not.
We could
descriptors when
argue
you
and
start
argue
talking
and
about them
argue and
as
argue
philosophies.
and
You start
argue
talking-
and argue and argue and argue again and again and again and again. But are you willing to accept, although I recognize them as groups, I'm still willing to argue and discuss with them as individuals? Are you okay with that?
Am I okay with it? This isn't about what I'm okay with. It doesn't matter what I'm okay with.
It seems like it is.
Well, why does my
We're just trying to help you. If you don't want it, that's
And I make videos on the fact that I hate these fucking labels. I hate the fact that people all the time need to label themselves as something new and exciting. Oh, I'm alright. Sounds new and exciting. Oh no, it's been around for fucking 50 years. Oh, I'm a fucking libertarian. That shit's been around for fucking 40 years. I'm a neoliberal. What the fuck is that? Who gives a shit? What people don't know. Do you know how many people I know that claim that they fucking love Nietzsche and they're Nietzschean fucking they identify as Nietzscheans? And then you ask anything beyond God is dead, and they're like, oh, I didn't know he said that. I'm like, shut the fuck. Shut the fuck. That's what most people, they're like, the Uberman concept. I'm like, what is the Uberman concept? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't know. I mean, most people don't know. They just like the idea and they like the sound of fucking labels. I'm not saying you're like that. I'm saying most of the people I have talked to end up being like that.
It's like stolen valor.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what that means. You wanna expand?
Stolen valor. Trigger would know this one. Stolen valor is when you try to be something you're not, especially wearing the American uniform and trying to be all this special like Rambo and shit, and parading around all over the place thinking that I'm this hero and everybody's gonna like bow down to me and thank me for the service and give me attention and discounts and all that shit until they get found out.
At the end of the day, the feminists just want to belong to a group. And the more research you do on it, the more you realize that's all they want. Peterson did the research. They just want to be sheep. They want everyone to agree. That's literally part of his research. They're agreeable. They're super agreeable. The moment everyone in the group agrees is the moment they're all happy. That is their literal psychology. It doesn't matter if you want to call them feminists or if you want to call them fucking new liberals. They're just fucking sheeple at this point. They literally want everyone to stand in line and say "bah" together. They don't care. They literally don't care what kind of damage they're doing as long as everybody agrees. That's why they sit around apologizing to each other all fucking day long. It doesn't matter what they label themselves. It doesn't matter what you label yourself as long as you sit in their group and agree with them. New people join and they go, what is your preferred pronoun? Yes, baha. Good. Tell us more. As long as we can all agree, we can have harmony. And they don't understand why the world is fighting against their agreeable nature. They just don't. They never will. They never will. They've never been able to understand it. You can call them fucking Nazis at some point. You can call them fucking communists at some point. It's just people that just want to agree and have happy harmony. There's nothing else to it. That's why there's metalhead scenes, because the metalheads just want to come together and agree and not disagree on things. I've seen it happen. I show up to shows, and the moment anywhere, actually anytime I've ever gone anywhere, I want to talk about something, people are like, no, let's not talk about politics today. Like, let's not talk about politics today. My life revolves around talking about politics. Why the fuck did you invite me out if you didn't want to fucking talk about politics?
Right.
They're like, well, let's talk about this movie. I'm like, I fucking don't care about movies. Movies are stupid.
Yes, they are. I agree with you.
Like, I haven't seen a good movie in like 30 years. And they're like, no man, this one movie was good. And then I have to sit there and not be agreeable with them. And then people don't want to associate me because I'm not agreeable. This is just human nature, the human condition. I also want to find people that agree with me. And yes, there's always a
People
danger of
have
that
been
becoming...
for the entirety of time.
Like I said, there's always a danger of becoming... that it is becoming a... what the fuck do you call it? An echo chamber. That's what happens. People just want to agree, and they sit around agreeing and agreeing and agreeing. And it's just yes, 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 yes. Yes,
I think
yes,
I heard
yes,
something.
yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Alright, let's see. I understand that philosophy is a thing. It is literally a thing.
Hardly.
Huh?
No.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Said hardly.
Hardly what?
I don't honestly believe that you see any significance in trying to understand what people believe. I don't.
No. You see, this
Well,
is
that's slightly different than philosophy. Applying a
I
philosophy to it.
completely understand how people think and why they think the way they do and how they think. I'm one of the fucking greatest people to talk to. People fucking open up to me all the fucking time, and I can sit around and listen to people for fucking hours. That's the majority of what I do if you haven't noticed. I'm not a big fucking live streamer because I'd much rather sit there and fucking just listen to people talk. Look back to the live streams. Mostly it's just me sitting here quietly, fucking listening to what other people have to say, learning about people. That's all I do. I fully want to understand how people think. I fully want to know what drives people. I wanted to be a psychiatrist more than anything else in the fucking world. And I want to explain why I think the way I do. So, no, you're completely wrong that I don't want to know, or don't want to understand how people think. But philosophy is not the root.
For some people, it is.
It's not.
Some
though.
people follow
No, they don't.
certain philosophies and follow other people who project their ideal or image of that
There you go. They
philosophy
follow
onto
other
others.
people. That's
Are you guys ever gonna go to the
That's
snow
exactly
biome?
what ideals are.
Yeah, I've been there
Oh.
a couple times.
I want to check that out, the snow biome, when someday.
Let's see. Let's just say, Loki, you want to head over there as a group? I want to go back over there.
Do you want to go find the settlements?
Yeah, do you want to wait till tomorrow?
It's 8.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I was asking.
Whatever, there's zombies everywhere. It's up to
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So do you want to wait till tomorrow?
It's 8. How far is the snow biome?
Yeah.
Snow biome.
About half a day.
Oh.
Sorry, my internet just dropped out on me.
Oh, that's alright, Ezekiel. Welcome back.
Yeah.
I say we can make it there and back, but there's not a lot of time to explore.
Oh, it froze again.
By the way, Ezekiel, I want to see your art on DeviantArt, if you don't mind, one of these days.
Sure. I can actually link it right now.
Okay, cool.
Art is also a good example of how philosophy and people don't really
Art only
mesh.
accounts for differences that people may have in processing the world around them. And
Right,
also-
exactly. And that they do the same thing with philosophy. Are you trying to get in the med box?
I think art would be a little bit different. I don't know.
No, I'm saying it's a good
Oh,
pointing
okay.
at, like, the way people differently or interpret the world around them differently. Right, like they do with art. That's why you'll get art in the same groups, painting virtually the same thing, and it'll be completely different art.
Right.
Mhm.
It's because the way that everybody interprets it is different. And when people look at other people's artwork, the same thing happens. You'll see
Okay.
10 people look at one painting, and they'll all see something different in that painting. right? They'll all have a different takeaway from it. My problem is I'm a little bit too rational of a brain when it comes to art, and I look at it and I can appreciate the strokes and things that they do. But people like are telling me all the shit that they see in the painting, and I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see it.
Paintings just
No, but
completely subjective.
But a philosophy is going to be completely subjective, each individual. Right? So when you're labeling people, labeling yourself, philosophy, you're going to find 20 other people who, you know, like your friends who all pick the same label, and you join a group, and then you're going to realize each one of them believes something different. Even directly about that philosophy, not just about their individual lives. They're going to all interpret it different, just like people interpret paintings differently. Which is why I hate labels. Like, I'm a neocon, but you're going to be hard-pressed to find other people who are like me, which is fine. I don't have a problem.
Another thing, too, is something that Jordan Peterson pointed out. And, one of his things, too, is part of the labeling has to do with...
The overlining point of what we're trying to say is basically that. Yeah. Is that Jen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you not
Oh,
hear?
I was...
not at all.
I wonder why.
Yeah, only to you.
I hear a sound, and I thought I heard a dirty Canadian voice there for a second.
Oh, you farted? Okay. No,
but no, I can't hear.
Jordan Peterson had something to point out too with the identifying thing, and some of it has to do with other people identifying you. I mean, obviously, there's a part of like probably about 20 to 30% of it is you identifying yourself. But a lot of people have a tendency to identify you for you.
Is she talking to us?
Yes.
Yeah, she's talking to us.
Well, I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. So you're not listening to me, or you're over talking.
I legitimately can't hear her. Do you have any arrows?
Yeah, what's up with your mic, Jen? I can hear you, but it almost sounds like you're talking from the other end of the room.
No, I
can't even get anything she's saying. No, she's talking.
Is that better?
But I'm saying that you're
Turn her up. Didn't you turn
did he
her
mute
up?
me?
She was yelling, or she was yelling to the brother?
No, I muted her. And so if you can hear her, she unmuted herself. And I didn't server mute her, I just muted her.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I can still hear her.
I wasn't even saying anything.
Well, no, I was saying, if you server mute somebody... But anyone can unmute themselves if you just mute them directly.
Uh-huh.
I need feathers, because I have 28 arrows.
Whatever.
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay, well, Jordan Peterson had something to say about it too, and he said that 30% of you identifying yourself...
Am I not the one leading this expedition?
Is you identifying yourself. But most of your identity is usually from other people identifying you, because society will identify you. And a lot of that has to do with, okay, well, you have similarities to a certain group, therefore you're that group. But that doesn't mean that you are that group.
Do you have any water on you, Loki?
Depends on which groups you're able to socialize best with.
Well, my trip's over, because I'm about to die. My health's already going down.
And that's not really it either. Like, I mean, you might have some things that are, you know, similar. You know, some parts of what you think might be similar, and therefore you think that you should identify them as being the same thing. But like these guys are saying, because not everything that you're saying is the same. You're not the same. You're not the same group. You know,
What'd she say?
it's like, you know, like some feminists, you know, don't want you sexualizing them, whereas some feminists are like, well,
that was
let's
a very
slut walk.
condescending. What'd she say?
Yeah.
Well, it was towards you, so.
Wait. Trigger? Can you turn her off?
Yeah. No, I'm in the game. And I'm trying to sneak away from a dog right now and not get noticed.
I hope you get eaten.
I am. I'm going to get water.
That's okay, I'm done.
Who finish?
Jen.
I can't hear her.
Well, turn her off.
I can't turn her up. I'm in the game.
Well, just get back to the house and I'll tab out.
It's not me. And I'm saying it's her sound doesn't even sound right. She's not quiet. And I didn't turn her down. So.
Is it this
No, I hear everybody else just fine.
Is that better?
There we go.
No, I guess not, since you didn't respond.
What? I said no.
You didn't. I didn't hear you.
Who's we?
The entire channel.
Who dropped out?
I think Jen restarted.
Okay. But you hear her fine?
Yeah,
'Cause I couldn't hear her at all.
perfectly fine.
Well, you can tell him for me he's a dick.
Because I can hear everybody else just fine.
Jen says for her that you're a dick.
Okay. Am I supposed to care?
I just passed on.
Can she hear
Thank
me?
you.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if there's actually just 4 of us in the stream or if there's someone else who's watching this and enjoying the little spat earlier.
Well,
Oh.
how many people are here?
4.
4.
4.
I can see on my screen.
Oh,
there's
in
four
the
people here. How many
server?
People are in the chat? Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm the 4th one. I didn't close it out.
Oh, there you go. See, no one's
Okay.
It's probably Jen restarting or something.
No one cares about us.
Eventually, I mean, I could add for this on. Literally.
Where you
yeah.
at, Loki?
still around the same. area
This
as
stream's
last
actually
time.
going pretty well
Okay.
compared to the
I'll be there.
others.
I'm on my way there.
Yeah, it has
my
been
God.
actually.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, there's no distortions or anything, so
Let's hope
it's
it-
actually pretty good. Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully I don't jinx it, because I'm gonna add for it.
Oh, Jen, don't.
Why?
Because these things tend to fuck up, and then people don't go nowhere. And then monetize the other ads, all the other videos get. Not all of them, most of them.
Is she talking? No, I can't hear it at all. Oh, she's typing?
Mhm.
Once you
Well, the
do
last time I did it, you managed to get like, 6 or 7 people.
Fucking cactus.
50 people by the end of the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did I just pass you? Yeah, oh, there you are. Whoa, cactus again.
Plant, like,
Wow, Ezekiel.
I'm gonna log off of mines though. Ooh.
Oh, what happened? Well, I can't. Hold on, let me remember. Let me look.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff tends to vary in trend based on different things. Like, it's usually one of the best ways I can find to vent raw
That's
emotion.
taking
I
too
just
long.
don't feel that I could really put into words at time.
Well, I just read what does my artwork say about me, and that was quite powerful. That was really powerful. That was really
one
good.
that was in response to someone who I know in my personal life who I noticed in a lot of her DeviantArt stuff, she would post a lot of personable things. It was very evident that she was referring to her interactions with me, and she
Right.
would take it out on herself. And this was my way of trying to use more of that indirect method to get into contact with her, to try to really look into what others are looking for in their artwork and give a better understanding as to why my artwork is so morbid and grotesque at times.
Right.
And,
That was pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. It really was. And I'm about to subscribe to your channel. Where's your channel? There it is. Yay, I'm the 4th one. Yay. And I just subscribed to your channel.
oh,
Where are you, Loki?
right behind you. Right behind the zombie, actually.
Yeah,
And I'm
Ow.
also
I thought I killed him.
watching you now on DeviantArt. Because I have an account I haven't done anything with yet.
Probably should update the profile stuff because at that point I kept my DeviantArt separate from my main channel for a bit,
Right.
and I don't
Did you bring a wrench?
Yes.
I don't
Sweet.
know that I need that barrier anymore since most people I know already know my channel pretty well. And
Right.
yeah.
So.
Don't worry, we don't judge you.
Mhm. Yeah, you do.
I definitely like what I see, though. It's really good.
Mhm.
You can tell it's really from your raw emotions. which is really
Oh, yeah.
cool to see.
And that's what I usually see is art is I don't think art can actually be a profitable thing. I don't think it makes much sense for a large number of people to say that art's a very useful skill. The best that it can do is it allows me to vent raw emotions. And that's the purpose I see with art. It's meant to have more personal. Art is supposed to be a lot more personal and unique. It becomes unique that way. And a lot of times people who are able to look at art and gain that, maybe feel some inspiration from it and perspective from it, is just something that they can do on their own.
Trigger, are you just passing up all the fucking
Yeah.
mess?
It's a good way for
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the snow biome.
Just
quickly.
every- because everyone needs a release of some sort, and art is one of the ways to get that release.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't like overheat, blow a gasket.
Right. Because I think there was like, because on that same day when I made that The Cancer Still Lives picture, I actually did 3 art pieces, and I was just sitting with a group of friends, and I was wanting to just cool down. I opened up the DeviantArt Miro and just started
Right.
just using that. Normally I draw with pencil.
Yeah, there's a zombie behind you.
There's it on the side.
Lately I've been using Miro
Yeah, I know.
a little more since I've learned how to use it a bit more.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I will say I definitely like what I saw. It's awesome.
Do you see his head pop off?
That's it.
Okay,
Like
can
I
you see
said,
the
you
snow
can
from here?
You can definitely see your emotions coming out.
Look southwest.
I see it now.
That's where we're going.
Ezekiel, you sound
That's why-
upset right now. I hope you understand it. I'm just expressing my opinion, not necessarily telling you how to think.
Yep.
What's the difference?
Between opinions and trying to tell people how to think? Well, I don't know. What philosophy would that be?
Communism?
What would be the different philosophies that would apply to that? I'm lost.
Well, no.
I'm lost without them.
See, I agree with Loki, it doesn't make sense to put a name to everything.
Oh, he said anything, really. I mean,
Not anything. Clearly, things need names. I'm holding a knife and playing on a computer.
Right, and that's why
no, like labeling
about
people,
descriptions. And well,
right?
like-
It's not saying like don't name a car.
the
That's not the,
when I
not the
see
same thing.
labels of people, I see them as groups.
Go left, go left,
They
go left.
function as groups. They conduct themselves with groupthink, and that's usually where you see the
here you go.
consistencies and patterns. And a lot of times these groupthinks are centered around conferred or agreed upon philosophies. That's what I'm talking about. All a philosophy is the group think. Ultimately.
I think I actually read something about groupthink somewhere. I don't know. That's pretty though. Pretty snow.
I want to
But yeah,
find
go
one of
on.
those-
Go on, Ezekiel. I'm
evil-
listening. I am
the
listening.
evil fucking snow zombies.
There's
I haven't seen
no
one yet.
such thing as a group divided from philosophy, because a philosophy is quite simply a way of thought. It's trying to round down philosophy is only something you can find in a textbook. It's not accurate, because not everyone's going to put a name to everything,
Okay,
and that's true.
I'll have to present a
something
slightly different
agree-
argument. What philosophy would you categorize me under?
Anti-feminists?
You think I'm an anti-feminist? Why would you even categorize me as an anti-feminist?
True. I
Because
would.
you definitely show a lot of aggression and a lot of disagreement with feminists.
Not
As a
not,
group?
No, not aggression. I show a lot of aggression towards stupidity and doublethink.
Yeah, I'm allergic to stupidity too.
Hypocrisy is a major thing that bothers me quite a bit. Is there a philosophy for somebody who's always hypocritical?
So next to the
I
snow
believe
biome,
that's just
is that like
skeptic.
the hot flats or something like that?
Wait.
We're gonna go into the real snow biome.
Okay. Go ahead.
Talking about skeptics.
Sorry.
Which,
So me not liking hypocrisy makes me a skeptic?
no, not the hypocrisy part, but being critical, criticizing things.
Well, look. What
Those
is the
are
definition?
qualities.
What is the definition of a skeptic? Apparently, it's a person who doesn't think certain things can be proven. That doesn't sound like me either. Because I
That's
try to
not
prove
what
things.
a skeptic is.
what is the
I
definition
don't
of
know
a
where you
skeptic?
got that definition.
Okay, what is the definition of a skeptic?
Let's see. I mean, there's multiple definitions.
Well, see, there we go then. We were falling into
Usually
the trap.
refers to a person inclined to question or doubt all accepted opinions.
That doesn't sound
That
like
would be
me.
more of a nihilist.
A nihilist can be a skeptic, but
What the fuck is
what
that?
you're talking about...
That was me, sorry.
But when
A nihilist
you're
is
talking
like
about
an
being
extreme
skeptical of
skeptic.
something... Huh?
A nihilist
Yes,
is like
then-
an extreme skeptic who just doesn't believe anything,
Doesn't... Right,
which would be
doesn't-
the best label that would apply to me.
Well, hold on. Are we talking about the philosophy of skeptics, or are we talking about skepticism as a whole? Because there's skepticism.
skepticism
I
as a
can- I can
whole,
be
but you can still have a
skeptical.
philosophy of skepticism. You can still have a philosophy attached to
I
that.
don't have a
Notice
philosophy.
that yet?
There you are.
And likewise,
Yeah.
one of the things you do is, say you manage to gain a large following.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the human pattern and behavior of tribalism?
Yes.
Especially looking at
Mhm.
the incidents
Why, yes and
between
no.
Sargon of Akkad
Like I think
and
that
Dave
pasta
Cullen.
doesn't
Hold on.
like,
Can someone mute Jen? I can't hear you over her. And she's
Um,
talking to our chat.
for the end of the month. So
That's why I muted her
would say-
before. Now she goes doing it again.
But like I was saying,
I think
with
we got it on. Cause you got paid on the Monday, so
So you have two choices here. Do you mute her?
I did. I don't think any of the people here online right now in the chat.
Is this
can
the
either.
is this the desert? Or lines?
that's Monday.
Oh, no.
It's just one little finger in the desert, and you can see the snow in the distance.
Yeah.
The way that this desert biome to the, Loki's right, I think, if he's coming towards me anyway, you'll see
Yeah.
the snow right on the other side of that. That's the desert.
Okay. Okay.
If he actually looks right and lets you see.
as I was saying, all you're really doing by trying to label yourself
I'm not
by your
trying to do it
name,
myself.
if that your
I mean, I
name is a label, that's how most
Yeah.
ideology stems from, such as Maoism, Leninism, Stalinism.
Okay, but that's
All of
not-
these are-
Stalin didn't say this is Stalinism. Someone else.
He did
said
Yeah.
that.
it.
Other
Absolutely.
people did.
Right.
Other people attached
Right.
it.
Other
Other people attached
labeled
them.
his
Well,
thoughts
now I'm
leaders.
as a
probably-
philosophy. He did.
Other-
I'm not trying to make myself an ideology.
More than I need to.
Other, you don't have to try to. Other
But the
people
first day I was-
attach
First day I was-
ideologies towards leaders that they find preferable
that's what I
and what
wanted to do.
ideals they find preferable
And then
of
also,
those
I didn't tell you
leaders.
about it,
I
but
really
The
can't hear
context
you.
they
kind of
present.
knocked it into that.
But okay, I'm in the snow
I mean, I see.
and I am overheating.
Wow. That shouldn't be. You think you'd be freezing right now with all the sweating you guys done.
Yeah,
So much crap.
that'd be too realistic of a
You
good
really
idea.
have to teach it to me.
Yeah, that's true. I keep on forgetting game mechanics.
What I'm between.
Mhm.
Try to put it square in the
Found
middle.
that kits?
Table.
Honey.
Sweet.
Is she even
Awesome.
talking to us?
No, she's talking to somebody on the phone. It's just interrupting what
Ah!
we're doing.
Can you guys see if you can mute her?
No,
No,
she's back.
You're back?
you're so impatient, man.
You're talking. Then we can hear everything.
We
you're
could
saying
hear you over the
Ezekiel.
Well, he talks to me and I can't exactly be like,
Yeah,
But you can just
no,
mute the mic.
it's-
I hit the mute
Yeah.
mic button all the time.
likewise. Or at least I tried to. Sometimes I'm just not quick enough.
Do you have some water?
You-
Turner,
Yeah. I got lots of water.
drop me a bottle or two. Or three.
love the snow.
But as I was trying to explain, people form ideals around
There you go, have
groups,
four of them.
around individuals who present an ideal, and that's where we get groups from. That's where we get philosophies from. Or groups that surround themselves around a philosophy. They're not really just following a philosophy. They're following a person.
Die. It's 1831.
Or
I don't know. I'm looking for a building.
Hold on. So,
Oh,
you're saying
we
that
could turn around and go back. We'd make it.
we would. I don't think.
You can always build something
So
too.
you think that in high school when you join a clique, it's because of a philosophy?
Hey, where's your wrench at?
what
Come
now?
here. Break down that car right in front of you.
A clique, a group that you join.
Where you going?
Why am I?
You're not listening.
Why am I breaking down the fucking?
Probably not initially.
For parts.
Usually it's some aspect that you can agree upon with a group. But a lot of times groups tend to break down if group mentality tends to differ with certain individuals and causes issues. The best example I can think of is when I was in a group, many of us are more downward leaning. We're more libertarian, or in some cases, some of them are anarchists. And we had someone who was a authoritarian in the group, who eventually was very unsettling and kind of uncomfortable with the group because we happened to not really care for the ideal of being under a form of authority.
This biome's pretty cool, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure if that was a pun.
So, yes, even with smaller cliques or groups, they may not have an outwardly stated philosophy, but they will typically conform around ideals that the group tends to agree upon and break apart and reestablish.
Go on.
It's a lot of why you may hear when TJ talks about whether or not he considers himself right-wing or left-wing.
Who's TJ?
He specifically says he doesn't
Amazing
socialize.
atheist.
Yes,
Amazing atheist.
he doesn't socialize with the right very well, but he socialized best with the left. Therefore, he's part of the left. The reason why he says that is because how you socialize with a group typically determines your beliefs in relations to that group.
I wish I could agree with that. But I also am not entirely would disagree with it. It's one of those weird statements. I don't think I don't even know how to address something like that. That's I just feel I don't want to insult you, but I feel like that's kind of a non-statement.
Stating that people become parts of groups based on how they socialize and how they pick up beliefs, habits, and traits on the basis of those groups.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's
I
literally
would
what I'm
disagree with
referring
that.
to.
I would disagree with that.
Okay.
I think your beliefs come more from the group, but as the older you get, you are into your beliefs. But with your child development, the group is what gives you your belief. Your social peer group has more influence over you.
Wait, but I've always strived to find out more information and new information, and therefore I would like to
Right.
socialize with groups that aren't like or
And
aren't
that
like me.
Right,
has a
yeah.
large part to do with upbringing. Because there are patterns of behavior that comes from the fulfillment
But
of
that's not
social
philosophy
contracts.
anymore. That's just psychology and socialization.
Yep. Like straight up psychology.
And that's what
and
I've been
sociology.
saying, but what philosophies people hold typically relate to that. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been going off of, and that's what I've been.
Philosophy is to psychology history.
Sorry, you missed it. I missed that last part. You cut out again.
Yeah, you did.
I said philosophy is to psychology. Alchemy is to chemistry.
Okay. Yeah,
Right.
It is.
And that's a fair point.
Philosophy to history is still... Actually, never mind. Whatever.
I failed word association. That wasn't good.
Philosophy to chemistry is philosophy to psychology. To be perfectly frank.
Yeah.
Because it all started with philosophy, but it's just like a way to think, and then they tested it and they used science, and then philosophy.
Well, it's, yeah, the
Well,
the
no,
thought
see,
of
philosophy is a way of thinking. A psychology is the understanding of the psyche, or how the brain processes, how the brain thinks. Those are two almost completely different
Wait.
components.
Philosophy is the way people want to think and the way claim to think, and psychology is the
Exactly.
way people actually think.
Exactly.
That sounds
Psychology
like,
is the study
it
of how people
sounds like
actually think.
philosophy is kind of useless.
It is.
Okay, so
As
then
a
we agree.
as
Look at those
a
fucking
course,
cactuses. Fuck.
trying to understand philosophies of groups in order to try to, I don't know, find common ground with the people who you're trying to discuss and argue with,
But I don't
or
need
trying to
philosophy for
break
that.
down.
Yeah.
I
No,
can
you
literally
don't
say,
need. Okay,
let's play the zombie killing game.
it's a philosophy regardless. They're living by a philosophy regardless. Yes, you don't need a philosophy study for
Not
that.
living by. Okay,
No.
that's the one thing I keep going over with you. Nobody lives by a philosophy. Nobody. Not a
Yes,
single
they do.
individual.
The
No,
philosophy
they
is
don't.
dependent on the leader.
No, they don't, because you are trying to find an all-encompassing philosophy, and there isn't one. You can't, unless you say I'm living by fucking Lokiism, and then for say everything Lokiism is the philosophy of whatever the fuck, however the fuck that
I'm a Loki knight. I'm a Loki knight.
No, because they don't really.
I
They
live
believe
by
others
Mitch.
would follow. I'm not arguing that.
is. No, but
We must all practice triggerism.
kind of do.
I'm not arguing that your philosophy is to your own, because I don't even believe that a state
Only
of
the parts I
individuality
like.
is even real. Everyone's going to try to follow each other's.
I just
Anyone who's-
answered your question there, buddy.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Well, Merlin
No,
joked
no,
that he
I'm
lived
talking-
by
I'm
trigger.
I was talking
Triggerism.
to Ezekiel.
Oh, okay.
I didn't quite hear what you said at the end there.
I'm just stating that I'm not saying that you're living by your own philosophy. I don't actually believe that anyone is actually capable of completely coming up with their own ideal.
Okay.
Hey, hey
Because
now.
people tend to base what they believe either on circumstances that they're familiar with and people they follow. In some cases, you'll have people who follow multiple people, but they
What do you mean follow?
develop tribalistic
What do you
behaviors.
mean follow?
I mean, as in listen to and even start to believe, start to accept ideal,
Do you think we can
From
make it
those
to that
people
link before the zombie
become
show?
part of the group related to those.
It's already night. What are you worried about?
Okay.
Let me put it this way. How would you and my best example was the issue
What did you do,
going on
Loki?
between Sargon of Akkad
We just
and
lost
Dave
all that
Cohen,
shit.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Pick it
No,
up.
and
from
how
the roof
a lot
that-
of people
In the ground.
took sides based off of whose ideals they felt that confirmed their own, or whose ideals they followed the most. That is what tribalism
Wait,
is.
wait.
But
Between
even
Sargon and
those Sargon and Dave Cullen, a lot of the issues that went on between Computing Forever and Sargon of Akkad, when there was the big divide between the two, where people were taking sides either with Computing Forever or Sargon of Akkad on ideological differences, because both sides have
You want to run to the
decided-
lake? It's safer there. Sorry, because both the sides decided that's...
both sides have decided that they choose to follow one over the other,
Basically, it was between conservative and liberalism.
pretty much.
Because David Cullen went with conservatism.
Fiscal, I would
Yeah.
argue it's more
I'm
about
infected.
conservatism versus liberal
You
fiscal.
got any
liberalism.
antibiotics or anything?
Yeah, and Sargon went the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medkit.
Yeah.
Click on it and see what it says. It might say that it'll help, but
Stop bleeding and restore a lot of health. Okay, so... And what if you don't?
maybe later.
What if you don't decide between the two?
And there's still other groups that you may decide, because you can still be on the outside, or choose that you still follow both for other beliefs.
Okay.
Hey Loki, you want to follow me?
I'm starting to disagree with you more and more because I don't agree with any of that.
I want to go for that treasure.
Where is it?
Just follow me.
Okay.
It's a ways away, but
So Ezekiel, is there any room for individualism then?
Yes,
In
by
your
biological processes of the brain. That's usually and arguably personal experiences based on, fulfillment of a social contract or biological. I already said. What would primarily make up individualism are either biological circumstances and environmental factors. And even environmental factors are subject to change.
So,
Mhm.
my question would be, so what if a person doesn't fit in these labels at all? So they're like on the outside,
Well, that's where
and they don't fit.
That's where I kind of started with this. I said, "What would you label me as?" And he hasn't been able to come up with a label that even remotely
So
describes
what would
who
a
I
person? Yeah. So what would a person be if he can't
I
find?
understand what label you want to agree with.
am. No.
But what if a person
No,
can't
hold on,
determine
hold
or agree? Hold on. Can I ask my
Okay,
question?
go ahead.
All right. I'm sorry. But what does make? What happens to a person if he doesn't agree to the labels and he fits none of the labels whatsoever?
Then you have to create a new label.
Person exists. Even people who may be more on the outside understand that they're following people, but don't have to follow everything those people say. They're not truly on the outside. They're just more adaptive.
I'm just processing it. I'm trying to understand you so I can get your basis here. I think I understand what you're saying. Oh, go ahead, Loki. You were gonna say something.
Well, he's saying that he came up with labels that he thinks define me, but I don't agree with, and therefore I'm wrong because I just don't agree with him. I find that to be actually offensive.
little bit.
Why would you say that I don't? I don't like understand.
Why does anyone have to?
Basing it off of what you socialize best with.
But why does anyone
If
have
we
to be
were
wrong
to be
though?
honest, would you actually be able to socialize that well with some of the feminists?
I knew them personally. I keep telling stories about people that were really close to me. Like, really close to me. Like, my best friends. He's married to the most hardcore feminist I've ever fucking known. But I socialized with them perfectly well for years. The only time we started differing is when my friend reached a level of alcoholism that I couldn't fucking stand. And decided to cut all ties
Oh,
because
cool.
I couldn't watch him fucking
We're-
drink himself to death.
We're being raided. Yay.
I'm very,
Jen,
very
look,
familiar
we're being raided.
with feminists
Oh.
and leftists. Most of
Wow, we got
my
lots of
friends
people
are
on
not
here.
conservative. I speak from experience when I talk about what they teach me because I went to these universities and I was taught in these environments. All my friends know this shit. This isn't new information for me and Sigan. This is shit we know, we were taught.
Well, that's pretty cool. We had 10 people watching.
Yeah, you got 9 right now.
Yeah. Still pretty cool.
Apparently, conversation really attracted people.
I
We have
guess
some
so.
drama going on here.
Jen,
Hope you guys like that.
Jen voted up. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, Still night. Still going to be night for a while. Maybe we should go back and
Yeah, make sure you don't have rotten meat on it.
Let me put it this way, Loki. When you see these people now who want to label themselves, who want to consider themselves communists, who want to consider themselves, some of these extremes, including Marxists.
Do you know Zachtar99?
Nope.
Because he's in the chat. He's talking to you, Loki.
Oh, what's he saying?
He says, hey there, Loki, how are you? Just got done with a Dead by Daylight live stream myself.
Nice.
Okay, so here I'm gonna swim to
I
it.
don't know who he is, but hello people. Thank you
Okay,
for joining
you
our
see where I am?
very deep political discussion. Yes.
You see where I am, Loki?
Yes.
The treasure's under me somewhere. It's buried underneath the water.
Okay. Do you have a shovel?
So, shit. Shit. Nope, I fucking dropped it. I'll make one.
I have one.
You have 2?
Yeah, one of these days I really want to get with you, Ezekiel, and try to understand your position.
Do you have 2 shovels?
If you don't
I
mind.
can make one.
Okay.
So I really want to try to understand, and
I've been meaning to do a video to at
Take
least
it
put
into
it
the
into
water.
perspective.
What?
I've been trying to write it down more specifically
serious?
on my stance on individualism. And yes, I do agree. Individualism is far better than,
It's right here somewhere.
It's right here.
groups.
It's right here. Look, look, look.
I can agree with
No,
that.
the treasure.
Mostly for
Right.
the fact that we are.
Did you make a
what
stone
makes us
shovel?
Individuals is our
Yeah,
personal
I can make a stone shovel.
and our biological developments, which
Yeah, I'm gonna dig.
we're never going to be able to change or get out of people. And they also allow for more insight that preconcepted concepts are not going to be able to work with.
Right.
And I feel like me and Loki can at least agree on the aspects of individualism and trying to think as individuals. I just don't think that it's possible to have a perfect individual or anywhere close to that.
See, again, labels. Labels I have issues with. Perfect individual, what is that, the Ubermensch?
See, yet again, I'm using that as a descriptive of what I'm referring to.
Yeah, but I don't know
When
what
I'm-
that means.
Someone who is completely individual and completely separate from other people's ideals. That would be what it would take for someone to be a perfect individual.
Why is that
Is someone who
perfect?
is because at that point, what makes it perfect is because that's what it means to be a complete individual, to have absolutely no
That
connections or
almost sounds
ties
circular.
to anyone. It almost sounds like what now? I'm
Circular
sorry.
logic.
Circular logic how?
Because to be a perfect individual means to be devoid of anything else. And I ask how? Is it because it does?
Okay, what's an individual to you?
Individual
What makes... Okay, and how would they lose that individuality to you?
I don't know. These aren't my terms. I'm asking
They
you to
become
define the
parts of
terms you're
groups.
using. You said perfect
I'm
individual. I
work-
asked you to define what you mean by
Yes.
perfect individual.
And I feel like I just did. Because first and foremost, an individual refers to a person.
All right, Zach.
Who-
All right, subscribe to your channel. Just want to let you know.
I'm gonna say, like, first and foremost,
You want to head to the trading post?
Sure.
refers
very-
to...
It should be on your map too.
It's this way for me. To the northeast.
Northeast.
No, wait,
That's
I-
home.
I went
That's
east-
home.
No, sorry, east then.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
most interesting
yeah.
part of this is probably the pauses and breaks for in-game stuff.
Oh well, we got rated by ZachDor99, so it's good to say hello to the folks and thank you for coming and joining us.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
definitely.
I hope you enjoy the philosophy.
This has become far more popular of the stream than we were expecting.
And that we're having a lame ass philosophical debate about philosophy.
And its importance and or lack of importance, or whether or not that makes you a group, or it's all good.
It does put us at a disadvantage, though, Loki. Being anti-philosophy, and we're having a philosophical discussion about it.
Yes, but
Kinda-
my whole
Yeah,
I
I'll-
thought he was anti-label.
Yeah, I'll definitely check your channel out.
whole
Definitely.
argument revolves around the fact that I don't care about philosophy, and I find it completely
Yeah.
100% useless to talk about it. Because it never achieves anything, it never does.
You know what?
it
Can
never
you
will.
actually specify that?
What do you mean?
You say you find it useless to talk about philosophy.
Yes.
Well, if you're trying to argue and debate with ideals, those ideals are still philosophies. They may be more individual philosophies, but they're still philosophies.
I'm getting another
So what do you mean when you
Because
say
you're very broadening your philosophy.
that
right,
is
with what you're
exactly
stating
I'm
as
talking- okay.
right? As we said, a philosophy is a thought,
Right.
right?
So that's
So we're
what-
not saying thoughts don't exist. We're saying you're taking philosophy as a label to categorize people. That's where the problem is.
So is the issue with understanding philosophies or labels?
Understanding philosophies, you can understand them all you want, but you're just literally learning a series of words that have incredibly vague meanings that are supposed to describe what somebody once thought.
Yep.
I find that completely useless and irrelevant. And if I know about a bunch of them, I've learned a bunch of them.
And my question continues. Is the issue specifically with the labels And the fact that people will
No.
label themselves behind them.
Philosophy is
Or
not
that
The
the
creation
people
of
but
labels.
a label. And yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It helps create labels for people to band around, but actually means nothing.
Are we gonna get to a timeout soon? Because my brain really needs a break from all this.
Sure.
Sorry, guys. It's just my brain really needs a break.
So let's talk about how the legal age of consent needs to be 12.
Oh, Jesus.
Really?
What biome are you in?
That's prior to. Yeah, I think for women,
Oh.
usually the age that they start puberty is around 11 to 12.
Well, Idaho,
Yes,
they take them
exactly.
young. Yeah, Idaho takes them young.
The legal age of consent in Hawaii is 14.
There you go.
So
Tropical paradise.
it's not like I'm taking a big, huge leap. I'm talking a 24-month difference.
24 months doesn't sound like a lot.
It doesn't, but it is. Especially at that developing age.
Yes.
And that really is a big
The
difference.
between a fetus and a 1-year-old.
Yep. Well, almost, yeah. Eh.
Oh god, this is so boring.
Yep. I decided to take the most direct route because I'm like, this would be quicker. I was wrong.
I really wish there was there we go, we lost our viewer.
I would. I
No,
would
it
leave
was a
too.
raid after all. It was a raid. Come and go.
Yeah.
Anything interesting happening in the chat?
Not really.
Not too much.
So I'm still infected, but my health isn't going. So am I just gonna randomly keel over?
Maybe you'll just randomly turn into a zombie and I'll have to loot your body.
Sweet. I hope you got a lot of room. I got good stuff.
I don't
Nice.
I don't
Good raping going on.
That's why I want to go to the trading post. I'm gonna try to trade most of this shit. So
Let's hope you can make it.
So this is the desert coming up?
There's a little bit of desert.
a slither of desert and then back.
And then the snow. Okay.
Good times. Good times.
Oh, there we
I
go.
like
That's
the
pretty-
snow biome.
There we go.
I do too. I really like the snow biome. And the desert one looks pretty cool too, with the cactus and
I
shit.
want out. I want out.
How are you? Oh.
No, thanks for...
Behind ya. Or it was.
Ezekiel, make me feel better in chat, will ya?
Do what in chat now?
Make him feel
Make me feel better.
talk dirty to him.
Yes, talk dirty to me.
Great, now to wait for him to swim.
Well, it's supposed to be his bottom bitch anyway.
Well, you don't have to
There
leave
you
yourself.
Feel better?
Yes,
Feel free
for
to
yourself.
yourself. Feel free to just think of yourself as just a
So,
passionate lover.
Where are you going?
To collect
But
food.
even that's a label in of itself.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat all this fucking shit
Don't think of yourself as anything. Just a pincushion.
for my dick.
I am a pincushion. I am a pincushion. Or a dick cushion, yeah. Ooh, dick cushion.
Your taint is my nut pillow.
Yay!
And
Taint.
that's how we lose.
Ah, there you go. There they go. They're like, that's it. We've had enough.
Yeah, sorry.
We're out. We're fucking out. These guys are weird.
Well, we're weird. What do you expect?
Yeah, how many people you think will actually have a philosophical debate about labels and philosophies attached to labels?
Well, the stream has it all, though. We talk about philosophy, and we talk about the news that's going on in the world and everything else. It makes everything's interesting. It really does.
Do what you want. It's not like I can read. Okay, good.
Oh, no. Do whatever you want. Step behind me.
Am I? Yeah, I was eating.
Good for you.
That moment when you go to deliver a
I had to
smoke
open
to
up
your
a spot
brother
so I
and
could
you
eat, like,
suspect
4
he's been
fucking
doing that naughty
yucca
shit in
things.
your room.
Ezekiel knows how to make me happy.
Woo! We were tag teaming him for a bit there, you know, when he was in the middle. No, he was in the
Oh.
beginning. You were in the middle.
I was in the middle. Yeah, I'm always in the middle or the bottom.
And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing?
My health is
Yeah.
up all the way. I'm still infected though.
I'm running. I'm hoping that my health goes up soon from 44. But
Go back and gather a bunch of yucca.
I have
What if you
something.
hate your mom? What
Eat it.
about those bonds then? Wouldn't that affect you, though?
Stop and eat it so I can catch up.
I'm not 100%
Probably.
health.
Aren't you guys wearing
I mean-
like warmer clothing?
I mean, I hated my mother with a passion.
Like
Yes.
most of us, typically, when we were growing up, we most likely agree with what we've been brought up with, like what religion that our parents bring us into, what ideals our parents have held.
Well,
Trying
with
to-
me, with my mother, I always rebelled against everything she wanted me to do because of things she did. So we never agreed on anything. I just rebelled on any way possible. She wanted me to join. She wanted me to join the Air Force. I went Army. You know,
Do you regret it?
Oh man, it's really snowy here.
I should have got Marine Corps. Is what I should have done.
Hell
There's
yeah.
more honor in doing the Marine Corps than the Army.
Oh,
Everyone should try.
lumberjack zombie.
Well,
Guys,
well,
Don't
the
either
Marine,
make
guys, lumberjack.
the lumberjack. Where are you? Where are you?
You have
I want to see it.
you
Don't
have
kill it
shoot.
yet.
Where are you? Where are
at
you?
least with the
I'm coming.
Marine Corps, at least with the Marine Corps MPs, they look so much better than Army MPs, and I was always embarrassed when there was a joint detail because you look at our MPs, like our sergeants, they're all fat asses, and you look at the Marine Corps, they're all like,
What?
I am.
Sorry, go
Oh
ahead.
shit.
so, and the Marine Corps just looked always presentable, right on top of things, and then I look at my group, and I'm like, oh god, I'm embarrassed.
It comes with being miserable though. So that's the
Yeah,
trade-off.
that's true
You
too.
look
Yeah,
professional, but you hate your life.
Shit, he's tough.
yeah, that's true too.
How about
Oh, that's
that?
the first-
Huh? Is he gonna survive that shit? Boom! I took his fucking head off.
Sorry, guys.
But no, like I
He's
said,
oh god, he's still getting up.
but like I said, I was honorable enough though to take care of my mother through her death. So
Right.
And like I said,
Well,
you're
see-
a better man than I am. I'm letting my mom move to Mexico and sell her house,
Right.
so she has nothing to come back to here.
Cuba.
What level
Mexico.
of influence
Sorry, Cuba,
your
Cuba.
upbringing has
Yeah,
usually, or at least what ideals your parents have, usually has to do with how well you interacted with your parent. And
ugh,
one
well,
of the right, if you,
not very well with me.
Right.
Let's say one parent yes, and one parent still completely opposite
Try not to break your leg.
philosophically to both of them.
right, probably part of
Um,
one of the most significant factors of having both parents is because
Why
Whoa,
are you-
whoa.
if you were to be brought up by only one parent, you're most likely only going to be able to, and this, like the only determinant would basically be how well you interacted with
He's
that
on
single
fire.
parent as to how much you
What, Jack?
agree with.
What? You saw your brother jerking off? What?
Well, I didn't actually see him doing the jerky part. I went into his room to give him a smoke.
All right, let's find a fire so we can eat. We
And
got a
I look
rabbit.
at his computer screen, and he's in the middle of Second
Either that
Life.
or we're gonna
and
start
his
getting chased
character's
by
got
rabbits.
this naked chick on him, and I'm like, that's usually what you do when you're like with another
Wow.
player, right? So
I think I'm gonna take a pee break.
he's actually
Alright.
37,
Alright,
so not really.
I will be waiting with you with a bated breath.
Wait, stop. Oh, you asshole.
Horny 12-year-old.
The
Which-
worst thing is he's trying to claim that's
Ah,
not what he
no.
was doing. I'm like, if there's porn on your screen or something that looks like it could be porn, I'm
Shit,
thinking
we're gonna eat like
porn,
kings
that's what you're
tonight.
doing.
You're gonna attract zombies, is all you're going to do.
I already have rabbit meat on me, so I already am.
Well, he's not quite 12.
No, he's 37.
Yeah.
He's old enough to know to put like a sock on his door, so I know not to go in there.
Here, fuck.
Is he still in college?
No.
Wasn't that a college thing?
Hey, he died. I didn't hit him.
No, but
thought
I
him
wish
in.
he would use those kind of tactics, so I know. Because I don't want to know. Like, I really don't want to, but I don't want to
Are
walk
you watching
into
my
his room
back? Because I really don't want to die.
at the same time.
Well, does incest in Canada a thing?
If you're in a small town, maybe. I mean, I've heard stories about that shit, but we're in a big city, and I would never
I'm gonna
do
find
that
a-
because
I'm
it's
gonna-
vomit worthy.
I was just curious. Just
No,
curious.
it's all good. I get that joke a lot because we live together, right? So a lot of people
We're
are like,
getting
"Oh,
closer.
is that who you're dating?" And I'm just like, "Fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no." And he's sitting next to me going, "Fuck
This
no,
looks like a
fuck
good
no,
spot.
fuck
You want to
no."
cook this meat here and eat?
Sure.
Where'd you go?
A fire.
No, we don't have locks on
There
our
you go.
door. I really wish I could on my door. Because he likes to take food. And, yeah,
Yeah.
not supposed to do.
Hello?
Hello?
Where'd everyone go?
I don't know.
Ezekiel had to go take a pee break.
No, but you guys just went quiet all of a sudden.
Maybe I excited him with that. That thought about my brother.
Apparently I can't cook this meat at all?
Okay, what?
I thought I could just throw it in the fire and it would burn it or something.
Did you put wood into the fire?
Oh, that's right. Oh.
Yeah, that kind of fire works there.
Yeah.
I'm hearing
Especially in
screeches out
coal.
Okay.
there. Screechy,
Coal
screechy
or a
sounds.
shit ton of lighter fluid.
I guess lighted fluid could go away.
I am undetected.
Me too.
Okay, so it's cooking, so I'm going to take the rotting flesh,
Throw it away.
dump it somewhere. Yeah. I'll be back.
That's a good idea. So you're not like followed by a lumberjack. I swear that was a snow Mexican.
If you guys know this,
Oh,
it says,
there's a zombie.
It says charred meat and it says attract.
May attract.
That's right, we're going to eat like kings. That's what I said. When I am
How many are you making? 6? 9?
9. We're going to be fat as fuck. I got a fucking rabbit and, oh, here's another rabbit.
That's what I would do, Juan Martin. I would say that. I would pronounce it. Let
I
everyone
would kill
know.
this rabbit, but I think that's more than enough meat already.
Oh, where the hell is my towel?
If I kill that rabbit, we're just going to have more.
Stop
Handle
attacking
anyway.
zombies. We're almost there. Are we going home?
No, we're going to the trading post.
Our home is
Did you?
close.
Is
Oh,
the
there's
meat
a
done?
trading post? What are you talking
Yeah.
about, Trope Towers?
See how at the top right of my screen?
No.
It's been saying
An actual trading
locate
post.
trader. And it's been
Yeah.
like that ever since you guys started watching
Yeah.
my live stream.
Yeah, it has been.
We're finally
That's
getting around to that.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Figured since we're way out venturing anyway, it might be a
Right.
little bit more
I
entertaining.
guess you took it all right? No, you didn't. Actually.
Yeah. Did you take yours?
No.
Oh.
It's not done making.
Well,
Oh,
good
okay.
job, Jen. You chased everyone out of the room.
I'm sorry.
4 or 5, whatever.
I thought it was funny.
We're just
I showed her tits.
again?
Nasty.
No,
hell.
you talk about her brother jerking off and how she walked in on him.
No.
That'll do the trick.
Yeah. You
Well, it horrified me too. I mean, that's why I thought it was funny.
Oh, my food's at 100, so.
See that shit, and I'm like,
Coins.
yeah, I definitely.
What do you mean? Juan Martin, you mean no one says your name right? It would be kind of easy, you would think.
Do you hear that shit?
It's close. Yeah, I'm sensed. So, it's close. Up the hill. Nope, that's a rabbit. Oh, it's right here. Hi, buddy.
Oh,
Want to be best friends?
it's a crawler.
Oh, yay.
are the bunnies zombies too? Or, I mean, that's
Oh,
Nice. Okay, that's 11 points to spend. Watch my back.
it's dead. Cool.
Water. Or
gonna eat it.
There's a rabbit behind you.
fuck the rabbit.
Yeah, I think we got enough meat.
Health nut?
Imagine you say "fuck the rabbit" and then it just starts.
Yeah, I
chewing
did the
on your
health
leg or
nut
something.
ones. I think there was one for food and one for.
Okay, there's definitely only another one around here. Okay,
Yeah, we actually talked about
are
that the
you-
other day.
are you
About how
sensor
people
detected?
can't pronounce names, especially when they're easy to say and they still mess it up.
definitely says they smell like food to zombies.
I
Huh?
want to
Did you
try
get your
it, but I
food?
don't want to mess it up at the same
Did
time.
you eat it?
No,
Lack of
Don't carry it.
confidence.
I'm full.
Yeah, but if you carry it, they're gonna follow you. I said just eat it till you're full. I could eat one more piece. I got a little bit of room.
Okay, here, take
I'm
it.
at like
Where are
98
you? Take it.
right here.
I'm at 100%.
Wow. Sorry to hear that, Juan Martin.
What's he saying?
Well, English people are
That's
usually...
all of it. That's
Dunces.
all of it.
I
Why'd
think
you
part of
leave?
it's also different.
I don't need all of it.
Well,
Yeah, that's true too, Ezekiel. Welcome back.
Okay,
Yep.
fine. I'll just carry it. Let's hunt
I've
zombies.
had a fuck ton of these banana things. They yucca fruits.
Are we on to a
Here
different
we
subject
go.
now?
I found him.
We're just
Okay.
talking to Juan Martin about how, names and stuff.
Name? Oh,
By the way, I do like your name, by the way. It's pretty cool.
Whose name?
Is this it? Yep, this is it. We're here. We're here.
I feel like we've been here before. No, walk slowly or you're gonna fucking break your leg again.
Yeah, he hasn't done that in a while.
I know, right?
You know, in real life, I have no problem traversing.
Mountains.
Oh, look at that. Is that what is that? Planes or something?
No, that's a city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the buildings just haven't shown up yet.
Yeah,
But apparently this is where we need to go.
the draw this.
Just be careful, guys. They'll probably conquer you if you give them.
Woohoo! I mean, yeah.
I mean,
They can
Yeah.
conquer my anus.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Give it to the daddy.
Oh, they can conquer me anytime they want to.
Translation,
The settlement
Trigger
looks
has
abandoned.
2 shits you can give
we
them.
haven't gone to the
That's-
south yet.
Oh, okay.
This is just.
Well, I'm an
WB
asshole, so I'm
mean?
just gonna walk right through the middle, and
I don't see you.
What was that, Ezekiel?
I'm still carrying meat.
WB mean?
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, okay. Of course, when I type it in, the first thing that comes up is Warner Brothers symbol.
So, have you guys been in the city before? Or is this the first time?
No, we've been.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
We've been to some.
I noticed how the number of viewers just kind of dropped the moment that the debate ended.
Well, yeah, the minute I started talking about my brother, walking in on my brother when he was jerking off, everyone seemed to leave, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it happened. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Well, apparently in South America, they just impeached their president. I mean, South Korea.
Oh,
Yeah, it happens.
Wait, the South Korean president?
Yeah, apparently he got impeached.
what did he do?
I don't know. It just came up on my flashing newsfeed thing.
How far is this shit? Damn, we gotta
Where are
wait.
you? I'm killing zombies and you're fucking off somewhere?
I'm going to the fucking
Oh,
settlement.
here we go. It begins.
You have to fight zombies? Because I just walked right down the middle of the street.
I was afraid they'll follow us.
I'm fine if they follow us. We'll just kill them. It is fucking noon. There you are.
Oh look, a flaming zombie.
Flaming.
Are you shooting at me, you dick?
Maybe.
You want to come back and search this town? We're done. With
Oh, don't tell me we're paused.
Are we paused again?
Did I have to refresh?
That's the
Sometimes you just have to hit the bottom.
bottom. Yeah, hit the bottom. Hit the bottom. Real nice.
There we go. Yeah, I hit the bottom.
Why am I so slow?
It's just laggy.
Airdrop?
Oh, to the right. I can see it. I think the settlement might be closer, so I'm gonna go there first.
This looks
Oh,
just
wow.
like the other place up there.
Yeah, most of the towns look the same.
Oh, there's the bee. I found the bee.
You found a bee?
I found the zombie.
You found the
bee.
wasp?
Found the
Remember,
zombie.
they have wasp nests.
Wait, I'm going to not do that.
So yeah, so beware of that.
Wait. is
Whatever
trading
happened
post
to
not
the
in
discussion
city?
about Trigger talking about
I
putting
can't hear you.
Is the
Oh.
is the trading post not in this city?
Nope, it's just on the other side of it.
Well, whatever happened to the conversation we were having with Trigger about legal age of consent at 12?
Hold on, Juan Martin just came up with something. He says, what are your thoughts on overpopulation?
There is.
Kill all
that's
the
why we don't-
minorities, especially the Hispanic ones.
Good job, Trigger.
I was gonna go with just leave people to the natural elements and just let it out on their own.
No, it's funny because his name is Juan, which means
Yes, I
him.
know.
No.
God.
Such an asshole.
I'm Mexican, so I'd fall in that category.
I don't think the world's overpopulated. There's still plenty of room on this planet. This is a very big mud ball that we live on.
From the habitable land that there is, for every single human being, just counting habitable acreage, every human being can have 4 acres. Hey, I'm there. Where are you at?
I'm
4 acres and a mule?
No, I'm just saying there's 4 acres of land that is
Yeah, I
habitable.
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
So there's plenty of room. People just like to crowd in cities like assholes.
40 acres.
No, 4. This is counting every woman and child. Every single person.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been, there's statistics out on there that proves that.
so they have this
I
white
think
picket
the
fence
other
here.
issue is, like, if you're dealing
Loki, come here. Quick.
with more capitalist countries, the distribution of wealth, how you're always going to have a higher percentage.
You have a wrench, right?
Yeah.
We're going
this
to
bitch apart.
accumulate more wealth just naturally, and
Are you sure it's not
As a
somebody's?
reason-
I don't care. Take it apart.
Feel it.
Are you shooting arrows at it? There's another one over here. I want it too.
Hold on. Let's wait.
Yeah, they got.
Oh,
They got-
food and water. So,
I don't know how to
And
So
take
you-
it.
resources.
so
Oh,
you're
okay,
asking
well-
is there enough resources for the people we have now on the planet?
Yes.
Plenty. Plenty.
We just don't give them to the poor people.
Yeah, we screw over, everyone that does need
No,
it.
go back. It's the other stairs.
But I believe
It's
that
not us screwing them over. It's just quite literally like
I
when it
didn't bring
comes
any
to the
money.
distribution of wealth.
There's a
First
small
off,
mixer here. I
you're
never
going to
showed
have a
you.
disparity in
Mhm.
wealth regardless of what you want to do when you're dealing with countries
We
that
can
work
live
off of.
here.
And sometimes, if you're just providing for them, you're just allowing for those who may have difficulty surviving on their own.
Well, I'm talking about, for example, living in the desert, like the Sahara Desert. You got all these people in the Sahara Desert that are starving because I guess they don't know how to plant a garden or something.
all right, guys. I need you to be quiet for a minute. Loki, what do we
All
need?
right.
With what?
In general, what do we need?
I have no idea. What do you need for your cement mixer?
Oh, you're the one making the cement mixer, so
Oh, we got the cement mixer. Oh, there he is.
yeah, we're gonna make a second one. Secret stash, sniper rifle, barrel, shotgun, a whole sniper rifle. I want to buy that. How much does that cost?
Too much.
$13,000. I am at $10.
We have
I'm
like
a
40
little
bucks.
short. I'm a little short.
I feel like you're
That's
trying to
$10.
hold him up, Loki, with your show like that.
So let's
Sorry,
see.
let me fix that. I don't have anything else.
Give me all your goods, or
He doesn't want my bones. What the
That's
fuck,
even
bro?
better.
Is that
Do we need Magnum 44 parts? Do you want them?
No.
I don't
I
want
don't care
them
about
either.
guns in this game. Guns are useless. They run out of ammunition too quickly. And you take up too much space
So
in
love
your
that.
inventory. My bows are at 300. That should be fine. If it's all my bows, only you'd let me talk to them.
Hold on, I'm selling my shit right now.
How long do you think we can stay here before zombies overrun this place?
I don't think.
Then
Well,
whether or
maybe
not
on
the
the
guy
second
who's
page,
selling
but
stuff
this
is-
place will stand. They'll just kill us.
Is the guy who's selling you still a zombie?
Night vision goggles for $9,000.
For what?
Night vision goggles.
We have light helmets.
Yeah, night vision, which means the zombies won't see it.
Sure, if we
Okay.
have
Let's
9,000.
see. Leather headlight shot. Should have brought our money.
That would have helped.
Electronic components. What's the part that I want? What is it called?
I don't know what you need.
The mechanical parts. Mechanical parts.
I feel like
He doesn't have any.
Oh,
No,
apologies.
none.
Check back again, and I may have what you're looking for.
Okay.
Great doing
Go ahead.
business.
Sell him your shit.
So much.
Oh, where are you? Give me the wrench. I'm gonna go get those mopeds.
Oh, there. Don't lose it. It's yours.
Now, what can I get you today?
People are not just greedy. Jeez.
they are greedy.
You need incentives to actually be able to improve technology that allows you to make more out of your scarcity of resources.
Don't tell
It's-
me that.
You can't just redistribute food to absolutely everyone. It's not reasonably possible because what happens when people are able to be provided for and they lose the incentives to actually
Who are you talking
The chat.
Yeah.
the chat
I said
and
that
in
you
part to the
to? You just
chat
direct them
and
to our channels.
converse. Huh?
You can just direct them to our channels. I said this is a no politics channel, and clearly I've miserably failed at that.
Who is this?
I don't know.
Huh?
Oh, it was me.
No, Loki. That wasn't Loki. That's not Loki.
Apparently they locked the bikes. Whoever fucking crashed.
Oh. Crashed? I don't think it's crashed. I think.
Yeah, they're stuck in the barriers.
Oh.
They must not have had a wrench, so they just had to leave them.
Can
Yeah.
you still take them apart?
What we're going off of, Loki, is I told the person in the chat they could give us any topic to discuss about, and his topic was, is there an overpopulation problem? I argue yes.
I say no.
I say no. It's just a liberal agenda trying to push.
Well,
down
well, he's talking about in his country of Paraguay. Okay, there's a rumor about there's a war about aquifer. I could see that because the battle for water and food, you control the country.
Yes, but not in any other, like in his country maybe. In Russia, still fucking mostly empty. Canada's still mostly empty. Most of America is still empty. So in his country, there's an overpopulation problem because people are having too much children. In my country, we have an underpopulation, which is why we keep importing people in, so the government doesn't go bankrupt. Because they need your tax money. If they don't have your tax money, they don't give a fuck about you.